Yeah, you like that. P. Diddy and Puffy. Let's make it happen. Super Mike is out here. Hey, this is a new. We got to make something happen, guys. Puffy's in the news. We're going to talk about a little bit of religion, Apec, current affairs, China. That's right. Take that. You like that, right? Yeah. All right, guys. I had to come in with that. What's going on? This is Super Mike 2164. You know, we trying to can't stop, won't stop. You know, Mace wrote all of this. I had a good discussion with my brother BMT earlier this morning. Y'all check that show out. Man, this was a really good beat. This is a really good beat. It's a really good beat though. But yeah, guys, what's up? What's going on, James and Leroy? I'm gonna drop the link real quick, but I want to start it off like this because you know we got a lot of stuff in the news, and it's like a little battle between the different forces of who's going to influence us in the world. So you know, we had the now I'm over here in San Francisco. You know, we in this area basically. People shutting down the freeway, and what they do is they get their cars in the freeway, and then they stop, and then they throw their keys in the water, and then leave. So you know, little stuff like that. You know, they was mad because some people were mad, but you know, of course, some people were not mad. Uh, there's all sorts of surveillance and all sorts of stuff going on down here. So, I mean, that's just what it is. It is what it is. This is the times that we live in, so we want to talk about it a little bit. But I do want to talk about a little bit today how the religions and the religious ideology kind of influences what's going on today. We want to, I want to say, you know, rest in peace to Minister Louis Farrakhan's son, Brother Joshua. Joshua Muhammad, he was one of the first ones to, well, he wasn't the first one, but he was one of the ones to help his father. Yeah, pretty near. I actually could have worked in the, I actually still can go work down there because setting up lighting in the shows and all that stuff down there in that meeting. But, right now I'm kind of working. They do pay pretty good. Yeah, so very near, very close. But you know, yeah, but Joshua is Minister Farrakhan's second oldest son. He passed away. Not sure exactly why, but uh there was controversy surrounding him, but you know, he was a good brother, he was a good man. One of the biggest controversies surrounded him was who he chose to be his wife. You know, and it was a white woman, but at the same time, he did a lot of good stuff to help his father, you know, maintain and develop what we now know as the Nation of Islam. So, and that in turn, of course, helps a lot of people. There's a lot of people. I was talking to a brother. You know, I'm working with a older man. He's a Christian, and he's basically, me and him always hit it off real good, and we're cool. And I was basically showing a clip of Elijah Muhammad, and they were like, and one of the older guys in my job was like, "Oh, you a Muslim?" I said, "Yeah." And then this guy that is a Christian, that me and him have been very cool. He had a sad look in his face. I said, "Man, what's wrong with you?" I was like, "It's all good, brother." But they're taught that, oh, you're going to hell, or all these sort of stuff. You know, so this is the stuff that is prominent. But the thing is, these we got all of these Bible teachings, religions. If you look at it from what it's supposed to do. Now, keep in mind, once people get a hold of something, that's the problem with a lot of us. We judge something after the people got a hold of it, and people start doing crazy stuff and messing stuff up a little bit the way that it's shown. But most of these spiritual things that we get as human beings, it's actually started off as good most of the times that I think of. Now, a lot of us believe different things, and I think that's as a result of wars, religious wars, especially with uh, the Christian Muslim thing with the Crusades. So a lot of that teaching, Protestant versus Catholic, and all of these old battles, it promulgates into the teachings of nowadays, right? I mean, and like I said, all of that we can talk about and discuss, but at the same time, you know, we do want to realize that, you know, thousands of years later, hundreds of years later, we do have the pure word, but we got a lot of stuff in there as well that might not started in there. And that's just natural, because by the time, if Moses and them spoke their word, by the time it got to Jesus' time, there's a lot of other stuff added in there. So, it's kind of, interesting, and it is what it is, right? So, but shout out to Joshua Farrakhan. And now Minister Farrakhan is over 90 years old, so, and his wife. And this is interesting because Minister Farrakhan has had terminal cancer. He's beaten that so far. His oldest son passed away at 60 something. Uh, it's just interesting. The minister is really pushing, basically, he's had the opportunity to just stick with our generations and guide. So, like I said, that's what's happening there. But this is what's happening in APEC. All of this guy did a time lapse of all of the spy planes that was going on around there at that time. During this week of the APEC um, little meetings down here in San Francisco and everything. So everybody's got their spy plane over here and there. Everybody's checking everybody's cell phones, everything that you posting, all of us, talking any buzzwords. Everybody, this is what's happening. It's wartime, y'all. That's what's happening. And like I posted this on my Facebook, if you look at the president's face, who's in control here? That guy's looking at him. You old feller, you bet not F up. Yes, sir. I don't want to get beat again. It look like they just beat this man. They look like if he messes up, he gonna get beaten. Oh yeah, and he told you straight up. Yeah, the man said they need to get. Yep, Newsom. They going what they call him, gruesome Newsom. But yeah, Newsom. He cleaned all the homeless folks out of the city because it's a lot of them. Guarantee you, I've worked down there. It's horrible. Look, it is not a joke. Them, though, they had to go. To me, they should have been did that. That just let us know that they could do this at any time. But they could, wherever they put them, I don't know where they at now, but that dang on train, mm-mm, the human feces on the ground. I told y'all before, I've seen it. If they want, yeah, they want to. Yeah, my butt's been wiped. It's okay. Yeah, they had the dang on the homeless when they're hungry, they'll go into a restaurant naked, and you gotta, to get rid of them, just give them some food. And they'll leave. Yeah, you better not beat them up, at least not in public. So other police wouldn't mess with them at that time. They would mess with you though if you beat them up. So that's what was going on in San Francisco. But yeah, this is what's happening now. Let me switch over to that. We're gonna, like I said, these are some of the just touching on some of the stuff we want to touch on later. And here you go, Snoop Dogg. He's like, I'm not smoking no more. Now, what happened to do that? After much consideration and conversation with my family, I've decided to give up smoke. I do want to go into this a little bit more than what it's been, because this is actually huge. Yeah, how many are we there yet? Yeah, exactly. How many more years of Biden are we there yet? Well, there's a lot of stuff going on. Yeah, I mean, this is if they make this force this elderly gentleman to run for any kind of office again, that's elder abuse. I think they're abusing him. They're beating him up. Look at him. Now, I don't feel sorry for him for all the stuff he did in the past, but if I didn't know him, I would look at him and I say, man, I feel sorry for him. He looks terrified. Yes, sir. So this is a situation where the tail, which is a small country called Israel, who literally depends on the United States for its bread and butter and absolute survival. The tail is wagging the dog, which is the United States. Yeah. So yeah, how did they get that done? And that's where I want to actually go into the religious portion of it, because this religion, okay, the belief systems are affecting the politics. So when people think that they can say, oh, I ignore this religion, I'm not religious, religion is that, religion is this. Okay, you can ignore what you want to ignore, but the facts are the facts. This stuff here, I had a conversation on Facebook, and we're going over the religious little scriptures of the Esau and Israel and all this kind of thing. These are the stuff that I think that's kind of important to know about in this time period. So we want to touch on that a little bit. Yeah. Then see, not just in America, they have their hooks. Not every government, because there are people who want to fight them. Yeah, but they have their hooks in most what they call first world governments, and even second world. Yeah, most, because the ones that they don't have their hooks in are enemies. We would consider those third world or enemy countries. Yeah, so we, like I said, I want to touch on that a little bit. I think we want to go over the name too. BMT had a question earlier. Like I said, we want to talk about a little bit about that, kind of touch on that conversation, P. Diddy and the settlement with the Cassie, and how this and this kind of ties into the same group of folks who have their hooks in our money over here in the United States of America. And that's why I always show this, so we can understand. It's back in the 60s. If you urge buy black, you are anti-Semitic. Why would they think that? We're not even thinking about them. We're just trying to think about ourselves. But that's anti-Semitic. Why? Because who gets your money? Who gets most of your money? If you buy black, then what are they going to do? So these are the kind of things I want to touch on. And hold on one second, guys. Let me get a few things ready. And while I do that, go ahead, watch this.
BOOSIEBADACC. That's me. White man out. Red bone caramels all on. Stop and stare all on. Trying to steal my. White man out. BOOSIEBADACC. That's me. White man out. Red bone caramels all on. Stop and stare.
Which one wins? Which one?
White man out. White man out. BOOSIEBADACC. That's me. White man out. Red bone caramels all on. Stop and stare all on. Trying to steal my.
That one or this one?
White man out. White man out. BOOSIEBADACC. That's me. White man out. Red bone caramels all on. Stop and stare.
For some reason, that's funny. Anyway. All right, y'all. We coming up. And while y'all get ready to come up, if y'all want to come up, I want to show this real quick. Let's get into one of these stories real quick. Let's do this. Let me see. Let me see here. Let's go into this Apec thing real quick. Hold on a second. Let's do this spy plane. Hold on. So we got this Apec thing happening here in San Francisco. Bay Area photographer Ian Servin shot and edited this image showing the amount of aircraft surveillance over San Francisco during Apec. So a Bay Area, okay, so whatever, same thing. So Ian used his Sony A7 III mirrorless digital camera with basic 50 millimeter lens to document the swirling light trails from the numerous surveillance aircraft over Apec. So first of all, let me verify what Apec stands for. Asia Pacific Economic Cooperation. Oh, so that's what it is. Asia Pacific Economic Cooperation. That's what it stands for. Let's look at their website. So Asia and Pacific. See, so it's not Asia and West. Asia is the only country actually named in that, committee or what have you, or that thing. Asia is the only country named. That's something to me. So what they're doing here, they got news groups. Who's in this? This must be a very powerful group. So they had their conference here in San Francisco. Gavin Newsom cleaned up all of the riffraff and rabble out of the city, made it look clean, like people would want to be there now. I probably should have went down there and worked because, like I said, I don't go down there and work because I don't want to step in human shit. I don't want to do that. It's traumatizing. Yeah. People literally make a house. They put a tent. I'm walking. I get off the dang on train. I rent a bike. You got to rent one of those bikes sometimes to get to where you got to go. I'm riding my bike. They got their little tent on a sidewalk where people walk. Now, sometimes you want to just roll over them, but you don't know what they got. They might have some needles like Freddy Krueger and stick you. APEC ain't got ish on APAC. Never know. Never know. Actually, they do. You know why, Leroy? Because actually, APEC uh, has uh, more firepower, more people. Uh, and I don't think APEC, I don't think APOC. See, that APOC, AI, the APAC, it requires the United States. If the United States is gone, that's gone. Now, APEC does not require the United States. Like I said, the United States or Western, any of that, none of that is in even the name. No, it's not always about firepower, but it's also influence. We're going to show that as well. Yeah. But we're going to show that they also have influence. Plus, they got a large country. They just don't think as sinister as, that AIPAC. So that may be an issue. But, you know, I think they're probably going to be battling because they see each other. So they're going to probably be battling, who's going to win. But yeah, Secretary Yellen, APEC is at the center of the global economy actions we take matter. So let's look at it. So this is all about business here. So when you're talking about sending your jobs here and all over the place, this is what you're talking about because they got their hooks in there. These people are sitting there, they are straight up, sycophants for Chinese influence. And this is the reason why the Stop Asian Hate thing is powerful. You can't get the same rights because you don't have backup like these folks do because now you're in a global economy. That's what's happening. And so, there it is. But let's read some more of this. So at least we know what APEC stands for. So APEC in San Francisco, Biden-Harris attend fundraiser as Biden-Harris attend a fundraiser in APEC, Asia Pacific Economy Cooperation. They need money. So as protesters chant outside, what are they protesting? Let's read some of this. Resistance is justified. Resistance is justified when people are occupied. Biden fund the people's needs, not genocide. Look what they got. Yeah, see? Okay, so that's the Palestinian stuff. They out there and protesting, but they wasn't the only protesters. People was mad because I think Biden. I will try to find it, but I think Biden had one of the Marines carrying the Chinese flag, American Marine. So today marks the beginning of the busiest period of the Asian Pacific. Asia Pacific Economic Cooperation Summit and San Francisco as the international conference kicks into high gear. Tens of thousands of visitors, including corporate executives, foreign dignitaries, and protesters, are descending on San Francisco. President Biden and Vice President Harris landed Tuesday, as did Chinese President Xi Jinping. Biden is expected to meet with Xi on Wednesday, reportedly at the beautiful Filoli Estate in San Mateo County. Many high-profile attendees are not expected to arrive in San Francisco until Wednesday. However, lane closures on the Bay Bridge and other roadway impacts have taken effect, with traffic backing up to Richmond. Yeah, during Tuesday's mornings, a lot of those a lot of those traffic backups was for them protesters stopping it on the freeway, stopping everybody on the bridge. They get on the bridge and line up each other and throw their keys over the bridge. So leaders of Japan and the U.S. issued a joint statement saying they held bilateral discussions Tuesday at Apec to enhance the rules based international economic order. Rules based. Interesting. Rules based. They don't do the rules, but we're trying to base it off of a rule. So Japan's Minister of Foreign Affairs, whatever that is, Kamkawa Yoko, Japan's Minister of Economy, Trade and Industry, Nitsumuri Yatishi. What's kind of funny too is I was always amazed that Japan had beat China for a long time. And then you look at the map of Japan, then you look at the map of China. So Japan was able to kick China's butt for a while until they got a couple of nukes dropped on them. I guess a couple of nukes will do that to you. So now China's running the show over there. And China's got control of the resources over there in Africa. They're getting control of them. They're making the right deals. So what do we think? James, you're in the right place or in the right area. You know the right language. Xi's visit to San Fran was a big event. Yeah, it was. It was a decent sized event. But it's interesting. I don't think Joe Biden matches up to Xi Jinping. I don't think Joe Biden can effectively negotiate with Xi Jinping because Joe Biden is old and stupid. And Xi Jinping is just not. So, I mean, I don't even think Biden. I maybe Obama should have been talking to him, but Obama's not the actual president. So, Trump probably would have been better in that spot. But whatever. Yeah. So that is it. Like I said, you guys can come up here if you want to chime in on a few things. But if not, we're gonna move it on a little bit. Yeah. But as far as this APEC thing. When the United States falls, see, another thing too. He ain't because Xi Jinping won't respect Obama because he's not sitting in the seat. Obama's not really. The only thing Obama would be doing is advising, but see, he would be just another advisor, and Netanyahu and all these other people would have Biden's ear, and of course his wife, and Obama would probably be running certain duties that Biden's too old and stupid to actually deal with. Obama didn't kill Gaddafi. He let Gaddafi be killed on his watch. And I understand what people say, but they was trying to kill Gaddafi for a while. Even Reagan was trying to kill Gaddafi. Obama allowed Macron and Hillary Clinton and all of that team to do that. And he did not stop them. So you can say he did kill them because the buck stops with him. So that's fair to say. But actually, he didn't. He wasn't really the driving force behind that. That was not his baby. I'll say it that way. That wasn't his baby. No, he's complicit. So guilty, and that's a whole different definition. Guilty and complicit is different. Obama's complicit. Well, that's just like You watch a lot of stuff and don't stop it. You could be called complicit as well, even though you're not the actual one who did it. You might have been with the group, and so of course you guys are up. We're gonna get you all. What's up, Leroy? Yeah, we're gonna all get you, but at the same time, you're gonna suffer. But at the same time, we know that the actual motivation to kill and take out Gaddafi, it did not really push in the heart of Obama. It was actually pushed in the heart of Hillary, Macron, and all those guys. They needed Gaddafi out of the way because the Republicans tried to kill Gaddafi and couldn't kill him, so they felt like, oh, they would be, big deal, big, powerful looking, strong Democrats, and they can take him out. We're more effective than the Republicans. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Leroy, are you talking? Because I can't hear you. Yeah, you're silent if you're trying to talk. Oh yeah, it's a slave. It's a slave. It's a slave thing now. It's a slave stop. That's what it is. Let's look at this right quick. Yeah, they did a good. I seen a good little story.
Hi everyone, this is Latasha Blanton from the Real South.
Yeah, the stuff that's happening in Libya because of those. It's not just Libya, but all over there, the Horn of Africa and all that stuff. Because of what the United States and France and Obama, Hillary, and all of these people allowed and did. Yeah, that's what they do though. They're a slave making group of people. So look at this.
An Eritrean woman by the name of Sarong Getachew revealed some of the horror stories that our brothers and sisters have to.
So this is an Eritrean girl. This is on the African Diaspora News Channel. This is Juan Gazalam. So she's from Ethiopia. She's the reporter's from Ethiopia, and this girl Saran is going to tell us just some of the basic stuff. She's not going to tell you, her talk about all of it, but she's going to tell you just some of the slavery, sex trade stuff that they do over there. And this is what they got to go through.
Lived through. This story mostly happened in Libya, and she shared her experience, what she went through when she was traveling through Libya. That's an area or a country most immigrants use in order for them to leave their
I can't hear
country
you, Leroy.
to maybe go to Europe
Hold
or
on.
America. They use
Hold
that
on,
route.
can you hear me?
Okay, I can hear you now.
All right, go
Yeah,
for it.
it said that you were on Android Chrome, which has a bug that causes echo. Google is
Do you
working
hear
on.
an echo?
No, I can hear you now. Go ahead.
Okay. Oh no, no, let it roll. Let her talk. I'll
Yeah.
jump
Let
back
me
in here.
I didn't want to show the whole thing because I don't know if they're gonna try to strike it or not. But
Oh, I don't think Phil tripping on you.
uh, I'll never do that.
But but you know
Uh,
what? Like we just like I discussed before, it may not be Phil. I really believe YouTube probably does it
no,
for you.
it might be, but the thing at the same time, I'll never see. I don't take people for granted. I'll say it like that because people
Oh yeah,
consider
good.
different. Yeah, people consider different things as disrespect, and even if you are familiar with them a little bit and think that they don't trip, by you assuming that, and then let's say they are the person who did trip, you get surprised and now you're offended because you think, man, I thought it was nothing. Like one time,
No, you just not necessarily. You just know the boundaries. But the example I give you is the guy we woke now.
Mm-hmm.
He came out and did a little live and said that, I don't have any problem with anybody using anything I put out here. Just, give me credit. He didn't say give me money, just give me credit. Because he saw that some other content creator had used his stuff, but they didn't give him credit. So it wasn't a matter of, he gave him a strike or that's my content. No,
Right.
just, get credit the way you get it from. The same way when you do a research paper.
Right. Yeah, that's how it should be. And but the thing is, it's also too like I have this one thing. You ever heard this movie called The Cotton Picking Truth?
I have not.
No. Okay. I think actually. Let me see. Did Dane Calloway make that? Let me see. Long time ago. Let me see.
And it's gruesome Newsom.
Hmm.
That's the name. That's the nickname for your governor.
Right. Let me see here. Okay. The Cotton Picking Truth. Who did this? I'm
But
trying to
while you
see.
looking for that, while you
Yeah.
looking
Go
for that, I gotta disagree with you, Mike. I,
ahead.
I Obama was all over what happened to Gaddafi. He ordered they called it a skirmish or a dust up. He didn't say dust up, but they called it something else besides a war. And he started it when he was in Brazil, either
Hmm.
Brazil or Colombia. He was not in America when that jumped off. And he announced it from over there.
Hmm.
That just
Well,
wasn't
the thing is,
Hillary and
the only
Macron
reason
acting.
why.
That wasn't just Hillary and Macron, going off on a tangent and doing whatever they felt like. Obama ain't
Mhm.
our friend. He's the dude that in his first term, went to Egypt and told the audience that was in front of him, that was full of Muslims, said that the events of 9/11 are fact and not up for debate,
Hmm.
which is an absolute lie.
Right. Yeah. But at the
Okay.
same time, like I said, the thing is, the only thing I'm saying with Obama is this. This is simple fact. Is this he came after they had been trying to kill Gaddafi since Reagan dropped bombs on him.
But they didn't do it until
Okay.
after he gave up nuclear capability.
Okay. So, but I'm saying they want the only thing I'm saying now, I first off, they all if this was a trial, all of them going to jail, all of them are being executed. Okay. So that's
Okay.
what number one, we get
Oh,
that out of the way. All of them are complicit enough to be executed if if we had that power to do. So there's not a disagreement on that level. But what I'm saying is if we want to look at the actual how the events played out, where the desire to take Gaddafi out came from, it did not come from Obama. You see what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying.
have you
And
heard
that, yeah,
have you
it's
heard of
just not,
Terrorist Tuesday?
no.
That was what was taking place when Obama was in office. Every Tuesday, he would just pick a terrorist, meaning someone on the list, who knows if they were actually terrorists or not, and send them a drone. His nickname is Drone Man.
Well, I know that he was killing people with because they actually tested him when he killed those Somali so-called pirates.
Hmm.
Remember that when he first get the very first week or whatever he got in office to try to try to give him some side of type of war hawk bona fides or whatever. But
And this,
all I'm saying is the turn of events is just a simple fact. It's not even he was not the he was perfectly willing to do it. Okay, so that's not what I'm not saying. So, like I said, he deserves criticism, but for us to say that he was the leader, the lead in charge of in like he was the one that really that was
he
one of
might
his
not have
top
started it,
priorities.
but he
Yeah, that
finished it.
wasn't his top. killing Gaddafi was not his top. That wasn't his thing. That wasn't like his
Oh,
thing. He's perfectly willing to do it, but just like he's
yeah,
perfectly willing to do a lot of stuff, like gay marriage and all that kind of stuff. But
yeah,
that
that's
really,
his thing.
yeah,
That's
that
his
wasn't his
thing.
thing. It wasn't. It was. It just wasn't. It was. He could have got his thing done. The stuff that he claimed he wanted to do. It was just like, okay, if you kill Gaddafi, then we'll get, like, for example, with Hillary. See, Obama was I said like this, he was weak too, because first off, you don't start off one way and then completely flip straight up like that, especially in that time, and make yourself just look like an absolute idiot, which he still does. That's why he has no credibility with the community,
Well,
with anybody. But
this the same.
when you did that, but that's what the same thing that we was having that discussion before. When people say one thing, he knew this too, because he even said this when he was running at first. When you say a thing and then the people, they're looking at your face, say it, and then you don't deliver it, and now that hurts his brand. That's hurting his brand. Now, whoever he protected or whatever and all that kind of stuff, that's a whole nother thing. But that hurts his brand. And so that's what I'm saying. All I'm saying is that, all of these politicians, they are the system is literally designed. It's almost like when you see those the bull in the little, what's the name? The little guy who's trying to charge the bull and stab the bull. He puts up a
The
red cape.
bullfighter, the
Bullfighter.
matador.
The
Yeah,
matador. The
Yeah.
matador. Okay, so the politician is the red cape. That's what the politician is. The
Well, who is the
matador.
matador?
You won't know the matador because you're just looking at that cape. We'd be falling for that. I know we'd be wanting to hit that cape. That cape ain't nothing. You can beat Obama. Obama was the way. You can literally, the whole system is just gonna get another cape. The
I don't
people,
know. I would say the money is the cape, and the matador are the politicians,
no,
and the
no, no,
bulls are the people
no.
that
The
they keep
politicians,
fooling with the
the
money.
I can prove that's not true. The politicians are not the matador, because the politicians do what they are told. They do what they are paid to do. Okay.
Okay, okay. Well, that
Every
would that.
there is a whorehouse. It's literally a whorehouse. I think somebody even put that over there on Rashard Ritchie's page. Politicians, they are not no kind of leader. They just follow what the money says. And they are sycophants. They just go out there, they make money, and if the, let's say somebody leans on them, let's say the Jewish community leans on them, they change. Okay, here's the
Change.
Muslim Palestinians lead. Okay, they change up. The business people lead. They change up. That's all they do. Now the only ones they ain't gonna
Okay,
change up,
hold on.
they'll stand up straight in your face over some black people, or they'll laugh at you.
Oh, okay, okay. But if that's the case, then why don't they change up for the people that
Because
elected them?
you can't threaten them. That's what I'm saying. That's the whole point. You the bull. The people
Uh,
are the
uh,
bull.
okay, if the people are the bull and the politicians are the cape, would not Israel be a matador?
Okay,
I
you're
think I
saying,
think I think except for it's I think the only position that is fixed is the bull. The bull are the people. As far
true.
as matador and cape, at one moment the matador could be the politicians, or the cape could be the politicians. Likewise, a country or the leaders of another country can be the matador working our politicians like a cape. I mean, I see the analogy both ways. That's why I said I think the only fixed position is the bull.
Well, it's true. I can agree with that. The only thing is, but the point is, if you're looking at American politicians, they cannot be leadership material. Well, they are not grassroots. They can't survive in that environment as as people of
Being
vision,
real.
commitment. They can't. And so that's what you're looking at when you look at somebody like an Obama. Now, the thing is, and even like I said, Hillary and all that. Now, okay, so let's go with your way. So you said that the politicians are the matador. In one respect, they could be, but the thing is, it's like you got to hit and beat the cape up. See, they got to get you mad at something so you can run for it because it's a deflection. So I guess P Diddy is the cape. So a little bit you can
You
put
know
some.
what? Distraction could be the cape.
Well, that's what it is. It's called distraction. That's what I'm saying. But the thing is, ultimately, and it's also called the scapegoat. Well, no,
Well,
the thing is, the people are starting to get more advanced and really studying the problem. This the politician, okay, is a political scientist. They have to be able to manipulate the public. Otherwise, they're not worth anything. All right. So,
yeah,
but
yeah.
in this society, they have to be able to promise to get cooperation. But it actually works better for them though when they can deliver some of their promise. Now, if you look at politicians, let's say towards a black community versus politicians towards, I would say in certain spots, not just white community, but I would say, let's say, uh, let's say small town politicians in, let's say like white communities, or they still liars, but they will deliver a little more, as much as they can to their people, because they go to church with them and they kind of hang with them a little bit more. Uh, but when you're talking about people who don't even live in the same area as these people, as the people they're supposed to be running, it's just not really going to work right. They're just there to just kind of facilitate the resources and move them, just keep whoever can keep tricking people. And it's just like with Joe Biden right now. People fall for the Joe Biden old folk stuff, and you know that's kind of getting them now. They're falling for Trump. A lot of people now. People are falling for Trump. Now he can do some stuff, but there's no real politician that can turn this whole situation around like that. The whole system is collapsing. It's a rot from the capitalist system is a failure. It's actually evil. Because your real people who's manipulating these politicians are your mega business people.
It's very evil.
Like if you even think about money over everything, that kind of culture, you know what I'm saying? Money over everything. $500, otherwise you're dead. Like I can give you, if you don't have $500 to pay for some medicine, oh, you dead. Period. You're not productive. Sit there and die. Who cares? You're nothing. We need to be paid. Otherwise, we're not going to protect the neighborhood. We're police, but who's going to protect the neighborhood? Oh well, you're not paying us. Send the soldiers over there to fight for the country. If you're not paying them, are they going to keep fighting? No. The businessman will sell you out. He'll sell the products over there to the enemy overseas. They keep ordering everything made outside of America when you selling everything in America. So that means you're selling your products to the American citizens, but you're paying for production an outside country, an outside nation. So you're literally funneling. You're a conveyor belt for resources. So why you doing this? Because you don't want to pay the workers. The workers are the ones who are buying your product. Why you don't want to pay the workers? Because you don't want them to have enough money, because then they're going to demand that you run your business effectively and safe. You don't want to run them. Yeah, they don't. That's what it is: resource and slavery, and that's what capitalism is. It's the worship of money, and this is where we got it. It takes a lot. You can argue about something, but then and tell people how it's going to end. But okay, yeah, you can tell people how it's going to end, but people can't see it. That's why you got what they call petty bourgeois and all that stuff. People hate the communists. They hate the socialists. That's education against. That's just the education of the capitalist people, the people who live here. We have to be told everybody else's system is a failure, even though we're the ones blow. A lot of us times, like especially in South America, we're the ones destabilizing their economies and their governments. And I guess they say because if they were successful, we wouldn't be able to do that, because they would be too strong for us to do it. But it's just an evil system, and it doesn't really work. It works for a while, but then it's collapsing, because it's like a parasitic type of thing. Once the host dies, you got to move on. But if the host is the whole planet, can't move nowhere. I guess that's why they're looking for other Earths in space. They need to go somewhere else so they can leech off another planet and blow this one up. They're finding gold in comets and all kind of stuff like that. But yeah, that's what they're doing. That's what is really kind of messing up. That's why they required all of this stuff with this division. They need the division. If they didn't, they can't, because people are wising up to stuff like, dude, this is not fair. And then you're gonna go overseas and find some other group of folks just so you can turn them into slaves. But let me finish playing this video here of this the slavery that they got going on in Libya.
Getachew revealed some of the horror stories that our brothers and sisters have to live through. These stories mostly happen in Libya, and she shared her experience, what she went through when she was traveling through Libya. That's an area or a country most immigrants use in order for them to leave their countries to maybe go to Europe or America. They use that route in order for them to escape whatever circumstance or situation they're trying to run away from. We already know some of the horror stories because we've heard them, but honestly, the stories that she shared are quite disturbing. I'm not even sure if we can post here some of the stuff that she expressed and talked about, but I'll show you a little bit of what she talked about. Maybe you can go to her own page and watch the rest of the video, but watch this clip. We'll come back and discuss.
My brother had to pay $2,000 for my ransom. I got sold to 3 different men, and that's how I ended up being $2,000. I was a bit more expensive because here's the thing: I've seen where there's it's not a black market, but it's just a market, and they would make Africans, that they call us donkeys. They always called us donkeys, so they call them donkeys. And they'll make them stand and they're betting money on them. CNN or BBC, it got released, it got leaked. And, it's like you're going to buy like a chicken or something in a market where you're picking and choosing which one do you want to have. Like that's how bad it is. And for girls, oh, something in my eye. And for the girls, you're just a sex slave. And yeah, I've seen a lot of people saying like, for me to explain. So what I can say is so many other Eritreans that I met there, when they ask them, they all say it's the problem in Eritrea. I'm not gonna lie, I went to Eritrea in 2014. There is no water, okay? The water goes off. There's no electricity. The electric goes out. So it's a full blackout, okay? You can't get a normal job. There isn't a job, you get it. And a lot of the families that are in Eritrea now, the way they're surviving is because we Eritreans that are like for example, let's say my mom is in Eritrea, I send her money. That's how she will be able to leave. You get it? So even the immigrants that are in Europe or in America, they're sending money back home to their family. uh, and there's no like universities and stuff. There's few colleges, but the government decides for you which line you're going to be working in. Because I have a cousin that studied to be a doctor, and now she's a nurse. Okay, she never wanted to be one, but she is. So there's so much things that's happening in Eritrea. I can't speak for Ethiopia because I'm not from there. I haven't been from there. I haven't been there. I can't speak for Somali people because I'm not from there and I haven't been in Somalia. So I can't speak for their issues to why they're going that path. But for me, as Sarah Getacho, when I started that path, I was given a wrong information. Like everything is safe, nothing happens. In the desert, it's just 4 days. In the water, it's 4 hours. Like in a week, like everything goes smooth.
Well, it's kind of interesting. Hey, what's up, old school Pete? But old school Pete, it's kind of funny that this is Libya, and this is the same country that America went to war to kill its leader and the people that they gave over the country to. This is what's happening with the rulers, not Gaddafi. This is the American allies are in control there in Libya right now. So I know the British Empire went to war to stop slavery, but they didn't want their they wanted to stop slavery because America, the American Revolution, America had got independence from Britain, and they were making more money in slavery, and Britain wanted to stop them from making money in slavery. So that's a whole nother thing too. So we won't pretend like this slavery thing. That's another thing. We need this. Okay, so the Arabs had slavery, right? So they do slavery. Okay, but actually, they're not even the ones that started slavery like that. The kind of slavery we got, of course, is like James said, slaves and employees, same thing. You got it. That's kind of the way that the Greeks did their slavery, the way that the Romans did their slavery, the way that what's those people called, the ones that if you can see if you read this book, uh, The Richest Man in Babylon, they had slaves there. So and it took a few different forms. From what I was reading in the Richest Man in Babylon, literally slaves was employees because they did the first time in history that the slaves' children was the property of the master. I think was in America though. So yeah. Yeah, but the thing is, it's bad, but this is the world. So this is what people dealing with, and this is what we're dealing with. So we're gonna talk about it. Let me move on to a different point because I want to try to see if I can get through, some of this stuff. Actually, let me touch since we on this here. I want to touch on this religious thing. Like I had a conversation on Facebook. Now I wanted Leroy to come up here or somebody. Um, so if we do with this thing, so okay, what Leroy? Can you hear? Can I? Are you talking?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Okay, I can hear you now. Okay, go ahead.
All right.
Yeah, so this is the thing. We talked about this a little bit before. Let me see if I can even go to the Facebook spot where I talked to this brother. But okay, now I know you may believe this, and so we may differ on this one, but we're gonna try to talk about this one. Now, a lot of people think Israel is a good name. Now, you may believe that too. I disagree. I think Esau is the good one. I think Esau is the good one.
Esau. Okay.
No, no, look at it. Now, according to the words and how the thing went down. And this is where a lot of people they do the similar what you just did because a lot of people have heard it the different way. They've heard, because and the reason why I think people overlook this is because everybody wants to pick the winner.
You think so? I mean,
Yeah,
look,
let's look at it
I
now.
can only speak on what it says. I mean, you got
Yeah,
to
let's
highlight
look
it.
at exactly what it says. That's what I wanted to look at. I want to look at exactly what it says. And I'm not going to ask you to look at it and tell me what you think. Okay, hold on. So this is therefore his name will call Edom Genesis. All right, so I want to go through this though. I mean, like I said, I ain't right all the time, but I just want to. I don't. I might not be right a lot of times, but this one here. Let me see.
I mean, you see what it says? He despised his birthright. He not the winner. How is he the good guy? He gave up his birthright for some
Yeah.
food.
Okay. Yeah.
He did not value the position God gave him. So
Okay.
how is he the winner?
So when okay. So listen what I said. People want to pick the winners. So I'm not talking
Yeah,
about. Okay, listen to what I'm saying when I say I'm saying people pick Israel to identify with because they want to pick the winners. I didn't say
okay,
Esau was the winner. I'm saying that he
okay,
was
but the
good though. He
uh,
is the
but,
good one. He is not the evil one.
uh,
No, look at
oh
it.
man, he gave. I am look. He gave up his birthright. What did you? I
Okay.
mean, I don't see how he can be the good one
Okay.
when he despised his birthright. He was born first. It was his to have. He chose not to have it.
Okay.
That was his decision. That wasn't the Lord didn't harden his heart like he did Pharaoh. He willfully accepted what Jacob offered him, and that was the end of Esau being in line.
Okay.
Uh,
That's, I mean, that's a valid point. That's valid.
line that Jesus
Now,
came
now
from
the
did
thing
not
is,
come
let
through
me ask you
Esau
this
because
question.
of that.
But let me ask you this question though: do good people always do good things? That doesn't mean he didn't do. Okay, just because he made that mistake. Okay, as a lot of good people make mistakes, because a
Yes.
lot of people
Yep.
make mistakes. Because we can. That's one thing that like I said, you got a point. Because we're gonna look at what it say. I ain't gonna defend nothing that's true. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But we gotta
Yep.
look at this stuff. This here, like you just pointed out. So it was talking about how, okay, and I don't want to go through. I mean, I don't want to overly go too fast on it, but I want to go kind of at a speed where even lay people, because a lot of people don't read this stuff no more. Yeah, but so he first came out red all over like the hairy garment. Okay, so wait a minute. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna go to the actual. Let me see. I'm gonna go to the actual thing so we can read this thing right. Hold on. Because this is a real good little spot, and we may just have a good conversation on this, and it might take a minute, so we might end off of this. But let's look at this because hold on a second. So and I'm going to actually see. Okay, so Esau was first, right? So it was his birthright
Yes.
first. So what is the birthright? So is the birthright and the blessing the same thing?
Birthright can be a blessing. In
Well, no,
Esau's
no.
case,
I
he
mean,
didn't value it.
hold on. I'm talking about. Well, if you're not really sure, let's read it. Let's look at it. Because I want to ask. I'm talking about just in this situation with the Esau and the Jacob thing, and Isaac and Rebecca. Okay, the birthright and the blessing. It looks like it's two different things because the thing, like you're saying, Esau had a right to something because of his being firstborn, and because he gave it up, and in his mind, it was due to his being starving to the point of death. So he would have died. Okay, so he wouldn't have had it anyway because he'd be dead. But the thing in his mind, but that so he gave it up. So he gave it a birthright. But at that point in time where Isaac was about to pass or what have you, he was going to bless Esau. That was a whole nother different situation. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear you. But
I mean,
the birthright is the blessing. Esau
okay.
gave that up. I mean, it was known
So
from the
why was
beginning that Esau was going to give it up. I mean,
said
Jacob was holding his heel when they were both coming out the womb.
okay? So there was two nations though. Now keep in mind we're talking about nations.
Okay.
I mean, do you understand the magnitude of that? Because we're talking
Yeah.
about it as they're just individuals, but but these are groups.
So was Ishmael and Isaac. But
Well,
out of Isaac, was God's seed called, not out of Ishmael.
okay, but that's a whole different. That's a thing too. That's a thing too. But we're talking about the Jacob and Esau situation, and that came out of Isaac. Okay,
Yes.
so this is what we're talking about right this moment because that's a whole
And
nother. Now,
and
also,
and, and
but
if you
since
know,
you pointed
if you
that
hold
out,
on, if you know that,
hold on. Since you pointed that one out, that's hey, what's up, BMT? What's up, BMT? Yeah, but since you pointed that out, BMT, are you on? Can
Hey, what's
say
doing?
something? Okay, cool. We can hear you. Okay, I just want to make sure we can hear you. But let me
I can
finish
hear
this.
you.
Yeah, but Leroy, since you pointed that out, the Ishmael and the Isaac thing, we know that's two different groups too. So this is
yes,
out of Isaac, and the Ishmael thing is the Arabs, the Muslim things. So we know that they're not the other nation. So now this is two nations out of Isaac, right? Because Ishmael's
yeah,
a totally different thing.
Ishmael is a totally different thing. But if you notice, God always chose the younger son.
Okay.
Even when it came to Joseph, even when it came to, I mean, Joseph wasn't the youngest, but he was close to the youngest. I think he was third removed from the youngest. Even
Y'all
if you
talk
look at David,
while
David
I
had older brothers.
speak this up because this is a real Very important point. We're not going to agree, so don't even expect to. But I just want everybody. It's okay. That's the thing. We got to understand.
Yeah.
Like, we can't be. People be out here getting mad because they differ on this and that. Dude, just everybody got to just say how they
See
see
it for
it.
themselves.
Yeah, but keep going on that. BMT, if you know what we're talking about, right? This little part of the Ishmael thing.
Yeah.
I want to find the actual stuff. So y'all keep going, D-Roy, while I look for that real quick.
Okay, well, David was not the oldest either, but he was also chosen. Yeah, I mean, I can't tell you why he chose the younger sibling or the younger brother, but I mean, that's just what he did according to the word. I mean, and yeah, I do believe. I don't have any doubts about it. I mean, Esau, he gave it up, and Lord knows all, so he already knew he was gonna give it up. The same way he knew that Isaac, the same way he knew Abraham was going to sacrifice Isaac, like he was told. And it wasn't until Lord placed that angel there while the knife was coming down that that didn't happen. But Ishmael, the word says that out of Abraham, he's the father of nations. So from there we have everything. Of course we can go back to Adam, but in this respect, we talking about Abraham and his lineage, which is related to Adam. So because think about it this way, it could have came out of Abel, but Cain killed Abel. And in that instance, once again, the Lord chose the younger sibling. He chose Abel. He didn't choose Cain. He didn't honor Cain's sacrifice when he showed up with plants because it was always about the blood. That was a prerequisite to what happened in the New Testament with Jesus spilling or Yeshua giving his blood willfully.
Okay. But okay, so I'm listening to a lot of stuff. But there are certain contexts that you didn't put in there. Like Cain's offering wasn't accepted because he didn't give his best. So he held back his best offering. So God was like, "What are you doing? You're giving me not your best harvest. You're giving me just some of your harvest." Versus this man is giving me his best lamb. There's a difference in that. The Isaac situation, that was because Sarah moved against what God told her to do. I told you to lay down with your husband. I didn't ask for you to help me. I don't need your help. So it's not that God is choosing these things. It's that it's a design that men are trying to play God or try to get over a system, and they get caught up because that's normally what happens. Why when people move out of a certain order, a certain order of a system. Um, the same thing with Jacob. Jacob stole his brother's blessing because his mother said, "Hey, your father's going blind. We can trick him." Other than that, his brother would have got it. These are things that men are doing to try to manipulate certain things. Now, between Isaac and his brother, had he gone down to Egypt, they wouldn't have the situation. He chose to do the latter and do his own thing, even though God said, "I got you. I'll take care of you." Again, when people do their own thing against that of nature and against that of a system set before them, whatever people's belief are, these things don't work out. That's why, yeah, God knows the hearts of men, but he also gives you free choice. So it's not that he chooses the weak. Not that he chooses the youngest one. He chooses the one that's going to more so follow after what he says. If you follow what he tells you to do, then yeah, You know,
What-
I mean, because honestly, that's the protocol. The oldest one is always supposed to receive the blessing, but if the oldest one is afraid to do what's told to do, versus the youngest one said, "Well, I'll do it, regardless of whatever the consequences is," then I'm gonna have to just take that one. So these type of conflicts that are happening are this is a family conflict, but this is a conflict that was caused because of disobedience, not because of well God wanted this to happen. No, this is because of disobedience. You don't listen to what that is before you. You got it right now where men and women are being disobedient against that of the order of how men and women are supposed to do things, and you're seeing all kind of breakdown and deconstruction of the home.
Right.
That's not something that God is doing. That's not something Yeshua is doing. He's like, listen, I gave y'all simple instructions of the order of things. Y'all changing up on how the system of things work in the world. So can you blame that on me? But I don't change. Man changes, not me. My law, once God says something, that's it. He don't have to redact on what he says. Man is doing his own thing. Well, women and women can live together and they can do this. Man and
Right.
man. Well, I never said to do none of that. Y'all are making these new rules and stuff. That's not what I told y'all to do. So the stuff that has happened, especially like in this war, Israel's supposed to be the so-called chosen people, and they wanted a savior, but what type of savior? They're supposed to be the so-called chosen people. Notice I'm just doing that. But again, we don't. Again, people are going against orders of things or literally changing the deals. The word has been destroyed multiple times. The book has been destroyed multiple times and then rewritten.
but yet it's
That,
still
that,
here. Can BMT? Can we say it's not his order though? I mean, what has happened has happened. There's no changing that. The fact
we
that
say, okay, we mean
Isaac,
by his not in water.
uh, in other words, what history is does not change. When it comes to uh, Esau and Isaac is the
Oh,
father.
Isaac.
Esau and Jacob, the Lord already knew that Jacob was gonna do what he wanted. He already knew that before the man was born. He knows about us before we born. He knows what our steps will be. He knows who's gonna follow and who's not. He knows that. I'm talking about
Right.
God.
Let me say something.
Okay, and therefore him knowing that Esau was never in the picture. We're
Well,
given we're
Jer-
given what happened, but it's not his. It was never his birthright to have. The Lord already knew he was gonna give it up.
okay, okay, that's cool. Like this is what I want to do, though. I just want to make sure that we keep. I know there's a lot. Keep in mind, this thing been happening, talked about probably for trillions of times over the last 3,000 years or whatever, or 4,000 years, 6,000 years. But what I'm on in this particular conversation, this is the thing that I'm trying to get. I want to, I guess, have the we want to see. Okay, so this is my belief. Okay, right now, I'm showing that actually Esau was the good one and Jacob was the evil one. Okay, and
Yeah.
so Esau, and so I can say it like this: Esau was the good nation, and Jacob was the bad nation, because there were nations in her womb. See, we're not even just talking about people. And that's what it's kind of hard for us to understand sometimes, because we see one name and we're thinking about one person. But these are nations of this is a group. These are groups of a person who's following this style of operation. Okay. That's what they're doing. They're following us, they're following their father. These are two different fathers in this woman's womb, Rebecca.
So so
Right?
when
That's
Jacob,
true.
yeah, so when Jacob later on in his life had to wrestle the angel for his blessing,
Mhm.
Do you think Esau would have done that?
No, Esau would not
Well,
wrestle
then,
the angel
uh,
of God. Think about
for
that.
his,
Think about that. That's God's angel.
mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
So that's like fighting God. Would
But
you
No,
do
man,
it's
that?
not.
Would you do
but,
because
that?
the angel is not God. To get my blessing, you're absolutely right. If I thought that was gonna be to my benefit, I'm gonna do everything I can to get
right.
that.
I
Okay, and
agree
that
with Lee.
and that's what Jacob did when it came to Esau. He realized what he wanted, and that the Lord
Okay.
knew he was gonna fulfill the duty. And after he wrestled with that angel, he stopped being Jacob and became Israel.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's my point. Yeah, think about. Okay, so I just want to go through the steps real quick, and I just want to try to get this. Is this good or bad? Let's take a situation by situation and just give it real quick on what you think is that good or bad. So we here in Genesis 25 because like I said, I know it's a whole lot to talk about this it'll be talked about forever. But I just want to see what each person that y'all opinion on this each step here. So we got Abraham. Okay, so Abraham, we know is Abraham considered good?
Yes,
Yes.
Abraham and Isaac are considered good.
yes,
And
Yes.
okay, and I believe that too. So Abraham did something. So Abraham had Hagar and Sarah. Okay, so
well,
that
Sarah first.
okay. So but
Sarah did well.
we not
He actually married Sarah.
no, that's not part of this. I like I said, each one of these steps is a whole lot, but just for the subject of Jacob and Esau, which one was bad, which one was good. So then we have, I'm just, okay, so Isaac was 40. Okay, he took a daughter. Okay, he, children. Okay, now, so Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife because she was barren. The Lord was entreated by him, and Rebekah, his wife, conceived. All right. So,
Correct.
and the children struggled together within her. So these are two children fighting inside of her. They fighting each other
Yes,
in her.
yeah,
And
yeah.
then so if why am I thus? Okay. I can't believe it. I'm just trying to get through it quickly, but not too quickly. And the children struggled together within her, and she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire to the Lord. And the Lord said unto her, two nations, so we're not just talking about people, are in thy womb, and two manner of people. So these are actually different manners. These people have
Mhm.
different manners. So I'm asking you which manners are good, which manners are bad. Two manner of people shall be separated from thy body, and the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. All right. So, like Leroy said, God already knew, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. So that you was proven right there. It just showed you.
I
So
mean,
first,
it ain't about me being right,
I
but I
mean,
get you. Go ahead, go ahead. It's all
just
good.
right there. Yeah, factually correct. And the first came out red all over. I don't notice it. What's the significance of red like a hairy garment? That confuses me. And they called his name Esau. Do y'all have any idea on that? The first came out red all over like a hairy garment. Because
So
garments aren't hairy. I don't know.
no,
No, no,
no.
but he was here. Go ahead, BFT.
Esau was a was considered a very manly, wild man,
Hmm.
and you gotta understand this is why. When Isaac saw Esau, he was like, "This is a man. Like we good. Like
Hmm.
me passing on the blessing is good to him because He's strong. He has red fire. You know, he go out and hunt and stuff. Esau had hair all over his body, so he had that masculinity appearance that when other people saw him, they had a certain type of fear about him. You know, he had that dominance.
So
Mm.
But
so BMT, think about what you said earlier though, when you said that man, will when we're looking at the things that we're talking about, we see where man and women have choose to do that which is against God's will. Isaac thought it best to give it to Esau.
well, he followed the rule. Well, the thing about it was Isaac was following the rules of their customs. You always, because in the rules of their custom, you do give your blessing to the firstborn. That's how it's
The
always been done.
firstborn, the oldest. Oh, absolutely.
Right.
I'm here.
So,
I'm here.
okay. So Isaac wasn't out of the order, because he was like, okay, Lord, you bless me with a strong, healthy a healthy man to pass on my blessing to. Mind you, you only get one blessing to pass on to. So, usually the eldest in the family, if for us as men, you have an oldest boy, he takes on majority of the workload. He starts learning all your mannerisms and everything, because you're passing on the next in line to him. Like, when I'm gone now, you're going to take care of your mama. So that was going to fall upon Esau. Okay. However,
Esau gave
however,
it up because he was hungry.
E- Esau did not think. Esau was not thinking. Esau was like, oh, yeah, I don't give a damn. Esau did not respect that of the blessing. He didn't respect that of the culture that comes with the blessing. And if you are a man that does not respect your culture, how can God use you? That's like a man still talking about, well, I don't care about all this black on black nigga laggity lack shit, so we can't use you.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. What are you saying, man? I should be running this. I'm the man for the job, but you don't respect that of the culture. So why should we use you? Why would we want to put you in that position of authority? You don't care. You don't care. You just want the
And
position.
and and
So
that's signified by him giving up his birthright before it even got to the blessing that Rebecca and
exactly.
Jacob, tricked Isaac out of. So the Lord knew best not to give it to Esau.
Okay, y'all giving.
And
Hold
how
on,
he
hold on. Y'all getting ahead though. Because I want to comment, but then I can't comment on what you're saying right now, really, because I, you know what I'm saying.
I mean, it's
You
hard.
can always come on
I
in,
mean, I
Mike.
get just say it, Mike.
no, because see, I'm trying to go through this. This is long. What we're saying. This stuff is going to be long. I understand it's going to be. I want y'all, but I don't want
And
to.
intricate.
Yeah, so there's nuance here and stuff, but I just want to.
Yes.
I want to make sure everybody put their real thoughts out and all that kind of thing, because it's up to everybody to decide what they believe as far as how that goes. I like what you said, BMT, on the red thing, because that actually makes sense to me, because based on a lot of the color code with the hairiness, especially in those people, they believe that fire, that manhood stuff. So
So,
that is two manner of people. So I was trying to look up in the concordance if they had some comments on that, but I don't see nothing right now. So that
so
makes sense. Go ahead.
so when you look at just people groups now,
Hmm.
who is hairy? Who are the hairy people?
Well, that's a big jump. There are some white people that's hairy, but there's a lot of hairy black folks. There's a lot of hairy Asians. Would
But
look more. Red would look to me more like the East Indians. So that, like I said, we can
But
come
that
up with
was covered with Ishmael.
huh?
But that group was covered with Ishmael. I'm just
Okay.
saying, out
Like I
of
said,
the people that we see,
but
who are the hairiest? When you think of hairy, you don't think of black people.
well, that's the only thing I'm saying is, Leroy, I feel like that's how we make a mistake because we just kind of came up with that. You know what I'm saying? Based on what
What I
we see
see,
in America. We just came here. We only been here about 30, 40, 50 years. This stuff is 4,000 years old. They didn't know nothing about cell phones and all that kind of stuff. It was a totally different group of people back then. So that's all I'm saying. Like, it might be true. I can't say what you're alluding to is not true, but all I'm saying is that that's just a huge step. You got to take me step by step to verify that that's kind of clean around. Because red, I know red, it symbolizes many things, like calling somebody a goat, calling somebody a serpent in the Bible. These are symbolic terms, so when somebody refers to people as hairy and goat and sheep, that ain't meaning they actually sheeps and stuff. You know what I mean? That's kind of it's telling you there's uh they were agriculturalists. You know what I'm saying? Just like it said that wasn't it Jacob used rocks as his pillow. You know, we're talking about
The
nations. So
shepherds,
right. So
the
all I'm
shepherd, they used to sleeping outside. Yeah.
yeah, all I'm saying is you could be right, but all I'm saying is that's just a big jump.
I, I'm look. I'm looking at when I when I'm looking at the context of how what we want to picture is the right person for the job may not be the one who's actually qualified for the job.
Mm,
Again, when we had a conversation talking about how easily earlier, me and Mike talked about how easily we sell off our legacy.
mm-hmm.
Esau sold off his legacy
like
for a bowl of food.
some porridge,
See, y'all getting ahead.
oatmeal.
My
See,
bad. Let me shut up. Let
no,
me
no,
shut up.
No, I might just say it.
y'all gonna see
What do we
why.
get?
Y'all gonna see why I say y'all getting ahead because I want to try to go through each one of these steps.
Go ahead, Mike. Go ahead.
Yeah, let's keep going a little bit because these are steps that he's telling us. They told us first off, the Bible wants you to know that these are two nations. I think that's important inside the same woman, so they got the same genetics. So
And,
when we talking about
and the elder would serve the younger. Who was
okay,
on top first?
huh?
Who was on top first?
Who's on top first is us.
Me.
Yeah.
Okay. If we was on top first, then by
Okay.
that we know what
You jumping
we
ahead.
know what Jacob was. We know what Abraham was. He looked
Okay.
like me. He looked like us.
Let's keep moving through. Let's keep moving through it. But
And now we serving them.
see. So
I mean, that's bringing it all the way to present day. But go ahead, just say it,
that's what
man.
I said. It's very tough to just go through each one of these steps. So, like we said, the dude, like you said, two nations, elders should serve the youngers. That's actually very key. I'm glad you pointed that out. We got the children. So the Lord said, two nations. Okay, when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins. That's telling you they got the same seed. The genetics is not the issue, but they look different. One came out red. They called him Esau. After that, his brother came out, and his hand,
Holding his heel.
but yeah,
He
his
was
hand,
on his the
right.
whole time.
That means something though. That's a symbol. That's a clue because that his hand took hold of Esau's heel. but I don't know what that means. But I know that right there, that's just like somebody saying something. And then they called his name Jacob, and Isaac was basically 60 years old, three score years old when she bore them. Uh,
Mm.
so yeah, does anybody have any ideas on heal? Is there any other places in the Bible where they talk about somebody grabbing hold of somebody's heels, or bringing
Well,
somebody to heal, or you know?
it says that Satan will be crushed by Jesus' heel.
Okay,
You know, that's the only one that comes to mind for me in
okay,
this. But my thoughts on him holding his heel is that regardless of what we look like, we are all the people he made. You know, that's what I grabbed from it, and that we shouldn't be falling for racism on either side. I'm not saying it does not exist. I'm
mm,
saying we should not be separating ourselves by color, because then they didn't separate themselves by color, they separated themselves by what you are. I mean, I can't tell you how, you know I mean, yeah, it's by a look, but at the same time, if everyone in the area looks very similar, how can you tell an Egyptian from a Libyan or Ethiopian? You see what I'm saying? People have distinct looks. When they keep mating together, then naturally you're gonna have groups form, and they're gonna be similar in that group. So in that
So
way, I do see how you can differentiate based on appearance, but it should not be a point of division. It's just what he made us look like,
mhm,
so
and we
the
need to accept that. Go ahead, Bianchi.
so the irony is the heel in the body is made to support uh you as you stand.
mhm,
Hmm.
However, and that was something that was very interesting because we all assumed that Jacob would end up being the one who would support Esau
mm,
because he came grabbing him at his heel while they pulled him out.
right,
And so you see, because the heel supports you holding on to his heel, but it was of the latter. Esau would be supporting Jacob. But I'll stop right there. That's why I just
mm,
find it very interesting that he was holding on to his heel.
right. So that's deep. Like I said, I don't really have a researched comment on that. I just know, just from the way that that's worded, like it could have just said Esau came out and then Jacob came out second, but it actually made a point to tell you that Jacob was holding his brother's heel.
Yeah.
So
Right.
that was something for at some point in time we will get some good, real good extra. That's a clue, like, to me. So now this to me is real interesting. This next section here. So this right here tells us something. So, and the boys grew. Esau, kind of like what BMT said earlier, he was a cunning hunter, a man of the field. And
Mm-hmm.
Jacob was a plain man, dwelling in tents. Okay. Now let me add this one in. This here. Now, Leroy, I'm interested to know what you think about this. Now, look at this. And Isaac, which is a man of God, he was actually a prophet of God to what, Sodom and Gomorrah or something, or wherever it was. But Isaac loved Esau because he ate of his venison, but Rebekah loved Jacob. So, what does that mean usually when that's the mama's boy?
You
So go ahead.
tripping.
What do y'all think of
You
that?
tripping.
No, I'm just saying that's a point there. See,
Yeah.
it's telling you that that Rebecca and Isaac had a difference.
Yes, they absolutely did. Hey, before we get to that, who else was cunning and a hunter before the Lord? Nimrod.
Okay.
Nimrod good or bad?
Okay. I think he was bad because he
Oh
tried
yeah,
to fight against what's his name?
he
Moses.
he absolutely was bad.
Hmm.
Nimrod wasn't a good guy.
Well, that don't mean that all hunters are good or bad, and we wasn't really. We
Oh
just,
nah.
yeah, we just point out all sections. We just, we. That's why I say I want to go step by step, and just one thing doesn't, you know, it's just to me. I'm looking at a succession of issues here, but to me that stands out. I'm gonna tell you what I think. To me, I think Isaac is smarter than Rebecca, and he sees character, but Rebecca sees a mama's boy, something,
The,
because women.
wait. Does she might, or maybe she sees that Esau. She might see that Esau ain't no good. She might see
Okay,
that
so
Esau
you said,
is one that is willing to give up his birthright and
okay,
has no desire. Yeah, he was mad because he didn't get the blessing, but you ain't give a damn about the birthright. So how's you that mad about the blessing?
you keep. I mean, and that's fine. Like I said, this is all fine. Everything we say is cool, but I'm saying that it is strange to me that Isaac was actually in the line of divine with Abraham. God chose Isaac and Abraham. God seen the wisdom of Isaac. He didn't choose Rebecca. And so Rebecca, she loved Jacob, but Isaac loved Esau. So Isaac seen like, I like Esau.
So it's
But
it's
this. Go ahead, BMT.
So go ahead.
so again, when as they look at it, you have it where Isaac can boast. Look at my son. He's
Mhm.
a man's man. He goes out there, he hunts, he cooks, he fishes. He's out there. He can have his pick of any woman
And who did he
because
choose? He
now,
chose
now,
uh, women he wasn't
now,
supposed to.
now. But see, in the eyes of and when that's your oldest, you have a Chad, a strapping lad that's out there like an Esau. When you have an Esau on your hands, a father like like Isaac, there's a pride in that. There's a pride that he has in him because he's like, man, here I am
That's that
stuck
dude.
inside. I'm stuck inside the temple, and everybody inside the office that would be their office is like, boy, that boy Esau, he's something else, man. Like you got a good strong man. I know, and I can't wait till he takes over the house of Jacob. I mean of Isaac. It's gonna be great. Now, what about your other boy? He
He,
stays at home in the tent around his mama. He
oh
don't come
God.
out.
Stupid, man.
That
He don't
doesn't make
go out and
sense.
he don't
But
go out and hunt with the other boys. See what I'm saying? So maybe this is why there's a law of nature. Again, you're dealing with the laws of nature where men go out and hunt and thrive while the women stay in the tent and they
there.
sew, they do X, Y, and Z. And so, well, father, I'd rather sit at home in the tent. Me and mother, we talking and gossiping and stuff. You supposed to be out there
Gosh.
with your brothers hunting and fishing, and you trying to
Oh
and
wow.
see there would be some type of disconnect with the father. I'm not saying that he probably didn't have some type of love for Jacob, but he was like, listen, how is it that y'all both came out around the same time, yet y'all are so different? And that happens with parents where he's like, well, I don't know what to do with you, son. I pray for strong men, but you're not showing your strength. Now the mama's like, oh, don't get on his back. But that's not. But see, you got to be strong. You had to be a strong man back in the day. A weak man does not last long. He'll be dead.
Right.
So that hanger and being
I
coddled
think
under a
y'all selling
woman.
Jacob a little short.
No, this is
I'm not.
what
We're not.
that's why I'm trying to
Well,
go. That's I'm saying I'm really trying to go through it point by point.
how are we selling Jacob short if majority of the men that they mentioned in the Bible all were outside? The first thing God said, you will work to the sweat of your brow. Ain't nowhere in there was talking about sitting in a tent.
Look, we
So
are. Oh, yeah, all that is true, BMT, but we can't pretend like Jacob didn't wrestle an angel to get his blessing from
that
God.
was no, you speaking
That
down the,
sound, hold on.
Y'all
That
getting ahead
sound,
again. Hold on.
but you get
hold on.
ahead.
Does that, but does,
Wait.
regardless if I'm getting ahead or not, we can't pretend like this is some
We gonna
pimp
get there.
squeak.
We gonna get to that angel. We are, I guarantee you. But we
All
gotta
right.
people just go straight to that angel and then they go straight to, oh, he sold his birthright and that's
I
it.
mean,
That's
no. He
what
sold his birthright
I'm
before it got.
saying. Like, see, people.
Isaac was dead when he wrestled
Okay,
with the angel.
I know, but I'm saying these are the points that people bring up, which are true. But if they don't go through these steps, to me, it's not. I don't see how people are getting. There should be more conversation about this thing. I'll say at the very least, you got to
I'm,
have some more conversation, more detailed conversation. Even if you still come down on the same side, people are, to me, this is something here to be really looked at. Now, here's the next step. Now, this is the part where the birthright part at. So Isaac, like I said, Isaac loved Esau. So we know Isaac, he loved Esau, the father. But,
mm-hmm.
and it says because he ate of his venison. Okay, so that's there too for us to know. But Rebecca loved Jacob. The mama loved Jacob. He was a mama's boy. And Jacob was in the kitchen cooking some pottage, which is some wheat that he got out the field, which is good. It's okay. He cooked some pottage, and Esau came from the field. See, Jacob was sitting up there at home in the tent, man.
Chilling
Good.
with the soft hands.
He was out there working hard. He came from the field and he was faint. This is your brother. He came from the field. Leroy, oh man, Mike, I came from the field. Damn, man, I'm hungry as hell. I'm about to die. Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with the same red pottage, for I am faint. Therefore was his name called Edom. Okay, so that name means something that I don't have the definition for, but we know that means something, because anytime the Bible gives you a different name, it's describing something like an action, and then it tells you that's what it's for. And Jacob said, oh, you weak. Okay, here's an opportunity for me. Sell me this day thy birthright. That's some snaky shit.
Edom means red.
This right here is the part that's the reason why I'm saying no.
How about this?
No,
If Esau, hold on, if Esau was as strong as, and look, and he was a strong guy, out in the field hunting, getting down. Why wasn't he strong enough to realize that, dude? Yeah, I'm hungry, but I'm not giving up my birthright for some food. What you gonna do is feed me regardless. How about that? Why didn't he just go there?
Okay, you asking me why, but the Bible is telling you this is what
Yeah.
happened. I can't.
Is that exactly? And that's why we just have to
I'm
accept
saying,
it, even if we don't understand it.
Right. I can't
So
just come up with a reason why, but I'm saying that's not something that I would appreciate my brother doing to me.
right,
So
like
that's weird.
But it was he, look. He didn't care about it. What I mean, okay, so I I don't I don't even know how to say it. I mean, I just don't understand
you
how y'all don't get that. Esau did not care about his birthright. If he cared
well,
about it, he would have said, "F your
so
porridge. I'm not giving
so
up
the
my
thing
birthright." Go
so the
ahead.
thing
Go ahead.
about it is, if you don't you this is no different than why a lot of people complain now. We got to get the land. We got to get the land. We got to get back this. We got to get back that. But if you don't use the people that you already have now, then can you complain about that what you don't have later on if you ain't using it? You're not using your tools now. Now, can we honestly say that that um, doggone Jacob tricked Esau? No, because he understood that he only cared about one thing:
His
his indulgence.
belly, the God of his belly.
I would say his indulgence of, hey, I'm faint, I'm hungry. Now, it's interesting. A hunter that doesn't want to cook for himself. He saw Esau. He saw Jacob as weak. See, there's two types of strength. There's the
Right.
mental strength, and then there's the physical strength. And see, yeah, Esau was physically strong, but again, it's very interesting that he was called Edom.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's red, but he was also wasn't highly intelligent because he would
Was
have been
he?
able to. Well, the thing about it was because all he was the thing about it was he as much as he liked to hunt, he could have easily had cooked some
He
meat.
must. Maybe he evidently he didn't know how to cook. I
Well,
don't
we
know,
don't want.
man.
The thing about it was he was easily bought and sold. He easily was bought and sold. He said, "Cook for me." You can't. You demanded that of your own flesh and blood to cook for me.
He
And
didn't ask.
mind you,
Go ahead.
Jacob's like, oh, okay, you coming up about around that time. See, it's like when a brother's like, hey, I can do that for you, but you're gonna owe me later on. I don't
Mm.
care. I don't care. You sure? You sure? You sure you want to take this? Yeah, 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 whatever. But see, you don't think they're thinking down the road. They're thinking down the long game on the road. So you said yes. This is no different than the white man and the black man.
Dang,
You
I'm
sure?
glad you made that connection because I was thinking that. Sure enough,
Yeah.
And
This is why we partner up, Mike.
sure enough was thinking that.
and
You
that and
sure
that's
you want to take that deal, black man? You sure you want to take that deal? Yeah, man. Give me that $50,000. Okay. Now the land is
hold
worth
on,
goddamn.
but the
Now the land is
words
worth $80 million.
but the word says the elder will serve the younger. Esau was the oldest,
Okay.
and who was on top in the beginning? We were. Black people were, right?
Okay. So it was
Okay,
fair.
so say again.
It was fair. So you had your brother
It,
serve you. Your brother served
it,
you food.
and for that, uh, Esau gave up his birthright. He thought it more important to, yeah, let me get this bowl and eat. Who cares about a birthright? Yeah, you can have that, and I can't do nothing with that now. He didn't think about the future. He just thought about today, now, right now. He said, you know what? I'm hungry now. If that's what it takes for me to get this food, because I ain't gonna cook. All right, here. And if he willing to give that up, then he was never the man for the job, no matter how many deers he ran down and murdered and came back and fed Isaac. Isaac thought he was the guy, but he wasn't the guy. or he would have been the guy.
Leroy, you're
What's up?
you're actually changing up what Esau actually said. It
How
wasn't
am I
that
changing it up?
look at it's sitting right here in front of us. He said, okay, this is the situation. It wasn't that he didn't give a damn about the birthright at this point. Look at it. It says, Jacob said, sell. So when Jacob seen that Jacob waited until he was desperate. And then he said, sell me this day thy birthright. Esau said, behold, I am at the point of dying. So that was the context. It wasn't like, dude, you can have that birthright. I don't care about that damn birthright. It wasn't like that. It was he was at the point of dying.
So
And hold on and read what it says, and you can't pretend like this is not the situation because it's in the word here.
No one's pretending.
And what profit shall this birthright be to me if I'm dead?
So do you think Esau was speaking in a literal sense, or was he being facetious? Was he just speaking in hyperbole? Do you think he was at the point of death?
See, not me.
Literally.
If you're asking me that, I wasn't there. I'm just saying this is what was written down. I can make up what I want it to be.
I can give you another example.
No,
biblically.
Let's look at
what I can.
I know, but why are we changing from what we're looking at? This is
I'm just giving you another example of when someone speaks in the word who is chosen by God or not chosen by God, where they speaking in hyperbole, where it's, I'm saying this, but I already know the situation. So it's not to be taken as literal as you trying to make it. I mean, I'm not saying those words are not being said. What I'm saying is it's not in the literal sense where it should be taken as serious.
So let me ask you this: Are you saying that Esau wasn't hungry?
No, I'm not saying Esau wasn't hungry.
Okay, so if he was hungry, he believed that he was at the point of death. That's what he believed at that point.
Come on, man.
What,
bro? We talking about someone who kills for a living. You think he was just man? He probably didn't want to cook. I mean, look, I don't know. Like you said, we were not there, but I can give you another person not far from this situation who spoke in hyperbole and knew damn well that them people outside the house didn't want his daughters. He knew they didn't want his daughters.
Well,
but he told he hold on, BMT. Lot told them what? I had two daughters that haven't known a man. Lot knew them men didn't want his daughters or anybody else that was outside his house. He knew they did not want his daughters. The same way Esau was speaking in hyperbole when he said that, I'm at the point of death, man. Yeah, I want something to eat. Look, if you want the birthright, fine. I'm going, if I die and I don't eat, then, then what good is the birthright to me?
Okay. Well, I mean, that's what you look, everybody has the right to believe their way. I'm just saying, this is what's actually written down here. That's all I'm saying. I don't really know. No. I'm just saying this is what, people have chosen to put in the Bible, and this is what made it to us after these many thousands of years.
Yes.
So it could be saying some whole different stuff. So I'm not about to be like harping on it. I'm just saying according to what is written that we was raised on. And that's why I always go back to the King James version, even though I know they got different versions. But I know most of us were raised on King James. So, that's pretty much the word as we were taught. I know, of course I know that there's the Septuagint, there's the Vulgate, there's there's all sorts of versions.
The NIV, the never inspired version.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to argue with all of those things, but the point is this is what comes to us. So if we're going to believe these English words, okay, that have come to us, it actually literally says, is what it tells us there. It says, feed me, I pray, with the same red porridge, for I am faint. And then and basically he said, so they called him Edom. Jacob said, sell me this day thy birthright. Esau said, behold, I'm at the point of dying. And what profit shall this birthright be to me? And Jacob said, swear to me this day. And he swore unto him and sold his birthright unto Jacob. Okay. So that's how Jacob negotiated the birthright of Esau. So if y'all remember it, I'm just saying people pretend that stuff didn't happen. They just like, oh, Esau didn't give it them. So thus,
he didn't, man. He didn't. Yeah, okay. This. Hold on, Mike.
Hold on. I'm just saying. So I'm just reading the words. I'm literally just reading the words. He swore unto him and sold his birthright. You right?
He sure did.
Okay, so you like that part, but here's the part two. Then
I mean, I like all of it, whether I agree with it or not.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Then
no, more than whether I agree with it, whether I understand it or not.
So then Jacob gave Esau bread, pottage, and pottage of lentils. So he ate those red lentils. He ate and drank and rose up and went his way. Thus, see, because of that, thus Esau despised his birthright. That's what. So he didn't. He was mad because he did that. That's what I take that as. But what do you say? What do y'all say?
I would want to say, and this has been a long-standing thing, especially for blacks, that we don't look further down. And again, I said it before, that we look at the immediate self-indulgence when we hit a hard time, rather than look down at the longer end of the game. And so this has been an ongoing trope. Again, he came in demanding of his brother that, mind you, this bitterment was not just spurned because Jacob hated Esau, when his father was very openly vocal and said, Esau is my favorite.
Right.
Well, his father in heaven, he wasn't his father in heaven's favorite. Go ahead.
No, you can't wipe away that type of pain that as a father or as a parent, you ain't supposed to have favorites. See, that's the thing about it. When you have it with one where rather than favor your sons, you bring your children in. Separating them and showing love and favor for one child causes a disdain and deception with the other.
And that's what Jacob learned that lesson. He didn't draw a distinction between his sons. His sons took it upon themselves to lay a trap for Joseph. Right?
Well,
and then he was sold into slavery.
But we're not talking about that. We're talking about...
Okay, keep going.
Well,
go ahead. Keep going.
We're looking at the fact that look how the Bible specifically said what Isaac favored Esau.
Okay.
So Esau had the ear of his father. That was his favorite. Not, I love my sons. He said, he favored Esau, the manly child. And they did that, and he feminized Jacob and said, His mother liked him. He stayed inside in the tent. So they gave one child the masculine energy, and they gave the other one, well, he just stays inside. He knows his place
And cooks.
and cooks. You see how you see how they roll together, Mike? He stays inside and he cooks, and his mother loves him. But the other one goes out and hunts. His daddy loves him. He brings him venison. He brings him meat.
Right. See.
Sorry, daddy should
Yeah.
have nipped
Okay,
that in the
well,
bud.
Now, I was
hey,
on from
hey,
this
now,
before we move on from this point. And I'm gonna let Leroy go ahead and go. Saying let us know the whole situation on that. But I did want to make the parallel that BMT draw for. So while we looking at this situation, we got to understand who used this technique on places like Africa. You wait until a group of people are starving, hungry, and then you make a deal with them. That's when you make your deal. You make
when
sure
you got them at their weakest point.
yeah, you don't uh fund their communities, you don't fund their schools, you don't do this, you don't do that, and then that when they're complaining and they feel like they're about to die, oh, you got something valuable, your talent. Oh, okay, we can go get your talent now because y'all all poor. So all I had to do is flash $50,000 in front of your face and tell you to sign a 360 deal. Give me your birthright, because your birthright is what you're born with. That's your talent. That is, especially if you live in, let's say, Africa or something like that. Those are your minerals. All that's these things that we're naturally born with are as talents. We'll sell that over to somebody, uh, and that's interesting. Who's using that technique? That's all I wanted to say. Now go ahead, Leroy. What do you want to say about this situation? Or
Okay, well, we have to provide the context. We have to go to the New Testament, Romans 9:13. I'll read it,
yeah,
and
yeah.
not and
I,
not only and not only this, but when Rebekah also had conceived by one, even by our father Isaac, for the children being not yet born, neither having done any good or evil, the purpose of God according to election might stand, not of works, but of him that calleth. It was said unto her, her being Rebekah, the elder shall serve the younger. Quote, as it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. That's God speaking. What shall we say then? Is there unrighteousness with God? God forbid. For he said to Moses, I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy, and I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion. So then it is not of him that willeth, nor of him that runneth, but of God that showeth mercy. Mercy. It was God's decision the whole time. There was never any ambiguity in what God meant to happen. That's why it's history, because it happened. There's no there's no way we can change that. He meant for it to be how it was. He knew what Esau was. That's God speaking when he said, Jacob have I loved because but Esau have I hated. He knew what Esau was. Hello?
okay. So okay.
That's Romans, so people can know.
Yeah, I got it up.
Romans 9 chapter verse 13.
So that's a good thing. Neither because they are the seed of Abraham are they the children, but in Isaac shall thy seed be called. Okay. So
And that's why he changed his name to Israel. Let me give y'all something that was revealed to me before we move on. God tells us that when you get married, that he takes twain and make them one. He took two words and made them one. And in that you find us who believe in him, and in a sense, we are his last name when you put it together. God is real. It's almost as if, I mean, he doesn't need us to verify his existence, but he brings us in, and he did that through his will. Like he said, he showeth mercy on who he chooses to. That is not our decision, or this whole thing that we're living would have been done long time ago if it was up to people.
Right. So my thing is this. True enough, everything. Of course, I believe that it God, allows things to happen. But the thing is, I'm looking at, if you look at how the Bible flow moves, just because God allows it and knows it's going to happen, that doesn't mean that that is the side of righteousness.
And and that's why he covered it in the New Testament. Hold on, he said right here, he spoke to that in Romans,
Mm-hmm.
where it says, hold on, let me open it back up. Of course, it doesn't want to cooperate now. All right, here we go. What shall we say then? Is there unrighteousness with God? God forbid. So there's no unrighteousness with God. He knew what it was. He knew Esau was not gonna. He knew he could not put his seed in Esau. After all that happened, Esau went and got if I remember correctly, he married Canaanite women, and God said, "No, that ain't what you supposed to be doing." But Esau did it anyway.
Well, I like I said, I don't want to veer off too much into different stuff, because even though that might be true and that might be wrong, but I'm just looking at a certain set of things, because, and like what you just pointed out, just to me, just because a God knew and allowed something to happen, that is still like God allowed them to kill Jesus. You see what I'm saying? But that's for a purpose. But that doesn't mean,
Absolutely.
but that doesn't mean that the people who killed Jesus was good. You see what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. I'm saying that a lot of the stuff is being allowed for us to see and make choices. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying that God didn't give who he gave and blessed who he wanted to bless and allow these situations to go through. So that's not my main point on this particular section of how I'm myself understanding it. Like I said, everybody's going to understand things differently because everybody's coming from a different perspective. But I'm just trying to literally you know, just try to say, okay, I'm just looking at this here, like, okay, this guy, I'm just saying it's like I can't say that that is good. That's all I'm saying. I didn't say that God didn't mandate it to happen, but I know there's many situations that God allowed to happen, uh and but that doesn't mean the culprit was good. That's all I'm saying. And now I have to really, yeah, like,
Well,
go ahead.
if we just go with Judas, he wasn't good. The word says about him, it would have been better for him if he had never been born.
Hmm.
And he sold Jesus out to
See,
who? The
right,
Sanhedrin and the Sadducees and the
Pharisees,
Jews of the day. Yeah, all them too. And it was ultimately to God's purpose, because he said that what uh all are called to the purpose of God, who he loves and are called to his purpose. So even the worst things God can pull out of that and make it the best thing.
Well, I feel like all of this stuff here, we got a lot of negative history. And a lot of when I say negative history, I'm saying it in that way because like if you look at a battery, it's a negative and a positive on there, but they both work. They fight each other, but they work for a purpose, right? Uh,
Mhm.
so stuff may seem negative to us. God knows more than us. We can sit up here and blame God and all this stuff about, oh, you should have let this happen. Like we don't even know what happened. We stupid.
We don't
That's
know the backstory.
why. That's why it says, "Shall we say then, is there unrighteousness with God? God forbid." No. But my thing is this: for us not to be making a mistake just because God allows something. Okay,
Means
I
it's right.
huh?
Period.
It doesn't mean okay, it's right for us. Okay,
What? What?
listen,
Hold
listen.
on. Hold on. If it wasn't right, if it
No, I
wasn't right,
let me prove that before you start psychoanalyzing. God allowed Satan to no look. God
I'm
allowed
listening. Go for it.
God allowed Satan. That's number one. But Satan is not right for us. God allowed
Hmm.
Satan to tempt and deceive Adam and Eve out of the garden. But Satan is not allowed for us. He allowed Jesus to be killed. But we're
Hey,
not supposed to. But you see what I'm saying? So just because God allows a thing to take place, it's right because God allowed it, but it's right. But as far as for us to engage in and to support God is letting. Obviously, he's just like with the Job situation. He's allowing Satan to, for a reason that we don't know. He's
oh
allowing.
yes, no, we know.
Well, I mean,
We
we can say,
know.
but we think we
Oh,
know.
we absolutely know.
Well,
Come on, man. Job, did Job fall?
we
I
think
mean,
we
we can look at all the things he lost. We can
first of
look at his wife who told him to curse God and die,
all,
but we
Leroy,
can't.
Leroy, you didn't
Go
even
ahead.
let me finish what I was
Go
going to say.
for it. Go for
No,
it.
we look at the Job situation. That's just an example. So I'm saying God is obviously allowing Satan access to us in each one of us different situations is for situations and we don't know exactly a lot of us don't know exactly why. I'll just say that the Satan is allowed to tempt you. So he's being allowed to do something, and it's right that it should be allowed. But is this choice right for you, the satanic choice? No, because God could just wipe this whole thing clean with all of the stuff that we seeing going on nowadays. But why does He allow it? Just because He allow it, is it right? No. I mean, it's right that it.
What?
No, listen. So you said that God. So it's right that Obama is, killing people and lying to people. You saying that's allowed? That's good?
Oh, absolutely. You know why? Because
Okay.
it reveals God's
So
power.
why
It
don't
doesn't
you
reveal and
Obama? Why don't you support Obama?
from the jump,
Why
from the
not?
jump,
It's good, right?
from the jump, because of what he said about Sean Bell.
Okay, so
Because and hold on, you asked me a question. And when you get to his acceptance speech in Chicago, when he said about people who look like us, for those who felt the lash of the whip. We done
okay,
did more than just get beat
okay,
since we got to America. So by those things, I know he don't care about nobody that looks like him.
but now what do you say to somebody that would sound like you just contradicted yourself? You said
How?
okay, that is good that Obama is deceiving people and lying to people out here. And now you're saying that you don't support him because of
I
those things.
never did. you get it twisted. I never did. There was
But
never a point of
that's why I said we getting twisted. That's why I want you to clarify this. The question was, I'm saying to you, and
How
this
is
is
it good?
right. I'm saying to you, just because God allows a thing to happen, that doesn't mean that it is right for us to partake in said thing. Do you understand what I'm saying though? See, that's
Yes,
why, okay.
yes, but I'm telling you, it is good because it reveals
Oh,
God's power.
wait, hold on. Because now then that would be a contradiction if you understand what I'm saying. Because
How is it a contradiction when I'm saying it is good because He allowed it, because it
okay,
reveals His power? I
so
mean,
now
you can't. Hold on, you can't show yourself more powerful than sin if sin doesn't exist.
okay, so now you just
And
okay. So
hold
now you
on.
agree with
One
me.
more thing. Hold on. One more thing. When you mentioned about Adam and the tree of good and evil, it wasn't just it was put in the garden and the Lord let them run free and then whatever. He gave them specific instructions, and that speaks to what you said, BMT, that they just Adam Eve first, but then Adam could have told her, "You crazy? God said X, and that's what I'm doing." So I don't know how it's gonna work out from here, but hey, I ain't doing that. But that's
Okay,
not what happened. He
but
he
see,
partook.
that's why I know you misunderstood what I was saying because you just repeated the same thing that I'm saying. That's why I made the statement. I'm saying just because God allows a thing, okay, just like you said, the tree, that doesn't, and I'm saying that doesn't mean it is good for us to do. Do you get? That's what you
I
basically
get what you're saying.
say.
I'm
So
ba- I'm going before that part and dealing with the allow part. He allowed it, therefore it is good. If he didn't allow it, then it wouldn't be.
but you're forgetting to the part when I say, okay, that's why I put for us. I didn't just say it's that doesn't mean it's good. I said that doesn't mean it's good for us to do.
Okay.
That's what you know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to be real specific. But like I said, when we dealing with the word in this Bible and all of these things, it the reason why a lot of the stuff is good division points is because it does take a lot of nuance. It takes a lot of, this is literally at the core of the system of beliefs. And that's where, and that's what I mean. Like it is that when you always hear me say it's not easy because, you know, then you take just like me and you having this exchange, look, just multiply that by millions and billions of people. And we think stuff, we believe it and it's true and it works in our lives, but other people think different things. And like I said before, that's why I try not to go too far out. Now I do like that you came up with that you brought in Romans 9 because it actually adds to and it gives context to the situation.
Well,
Because
there's more.
I'm
There's
trying
more in Romans.
Well, I'm
There's
just trying
more.
to keep it to that situation because you
Oh,
know.
man.
So,
Okay, so man. So man.
since we have determined, okay, that just because God allows something to enter into existence, okay, does not mean that we are supposed to partake in
uh,
a part of what He allowed against what He have instructed. Okay.
Okay.
So that's kind of, I'm trying to get it to where is right in line with what you saying because I think
I
we
think.
on
I
that.
think Romans. I think Romans 8:28 will answer your question. It's just
Okay.
one verse. And we know that all things work together for good to them that love God, to them who are the called according to his purpose.
Okay.
So
Right.
it can be the worst thing, and the
Well, we,
Lord will take that, and he will use that for those who are called to his purpose, that love him. So regardless of how bad it may seem to us, if think about it like this,
but
Mike.
we getting, but
Hold,
hold on,
hold
Leroy.
on,
See,
hold,
Leroy,
hold,
stop for a second. See, this is getting sidetracked from the point of this particular conversation. I want to keep it focused on Esau and Jacob.
we can do that.
Now,
I'm not. I'm not saying we're
so
not doing that. I'm just saying.
go a little bit outside of that just to give some context, but don't keep going more and more outside of this
I
deep.
mean, but this is giving you the reason. If they are called to his purpose, they love him. Therefore, it's to his good and theirs as well. Then I'm gonna give you this one example. When we look at homosexuality, it's not a
Mhm.
good thing, right? But he still allows it, right? But
Right.
there are some people who have gone there who completely walk away from it,
Mm-hmm.
and that shows whether those who still remain in it want to leave it or not. It still reveals his goodness in that people come away from that
Right.
by his power, not by anything of their own doing.
Now, how does that tie into the Esau and Jacob issue, though? Because see, that's where I wanted to keep this particular. Like I told you, I know that all of these points are valid and good. See, but this here is such a foundational point. I
Hmm.
wanted
It
to
is.
keep our stuff focused on this because it is. We can't. This stuff we can't talk about this forever. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Like, we want to keep it there because what happens is we strand on some point and we don't finish. But like I said, I do like this part because it adds more context to the Esau and Jacob point. But we want to kind of keep on that. The only thing I'm just going to go another step in that because, like I said, we can keep moving on a whole lot of stuff. But and like I said, we're not going to agree with every single thing, but we want to try to get at least some understanding. Esau despised his birthright.
Hmm.
I'm gonna
After
actually
he gave it away, then he despised it. When Yeah, he despised it after
sold
he
it.
sold it. After he
Okay.
said, "Yeah, hey, I'm about to die over
He
here.
didn't say it
Feed
like that.
me."
He said, "I'm about to die." Okay,
Yeah,
but anyway, let's keep moving.
that's
All
what
right,
he thought.
all right. So let's keep moving.
Never mind, never mind.
So
Jesus,
let's
40
keep
days, 40
moving.
nights.
Next one.
Go
So
ahead.
there was a famine
Hmm.
in the land. Let me see. Oh, Isaac went to Abraham. Good guy. I'm actually I'm skipping some stuff because I'm trying to get to straight to like let's see multiply.
Hey, it
Okay.
was a famine in Egypt. If Joseph wasn't there,
Okay.
the the 12 tribes would have
Man,
starved to death, and Joseph wouldn't have been there if Isaac wouldn't uh if Isaac would have chosen Esau and it would have went that way, Joseph wouldn't have been in Egypt. There wouldn't have been no 12 tribes. Hello?
yeah, I'm here. I'm
Oh,
here. Like I said, I'm literally trying to focus and
come on,
try to.
BMT, it's early, man.
He sleep. We about to probably head it off because I wanted to try to get this last point.
Come on, man. Wait, what
No,
time is it out there?
we about to hang it off because it
I'm
is.
back.
No.
Okay.
I was
All right.
No, I was downstairs, but yeah, I'm back.
Okay. Okay.
yeah. Uh,
I'm going back.
but we'll see. Anyway,
I'm thoroughly enjoying the conversation. But as you're saying, I think one of the main things that we got to understand that what Mike is trying to get at, there's layers to this. There's
Absolutely.
layers, and again, yeah, despite we could bring up all the stuff, but we got to look at the context of what happened. That
Hmm.
Okay,
he
this
took
is
for
the
granted.
key. This is the last point I want to kind of actually get y'all on, because this is another major. Actually, I want to hit this one and then the one Leroy came up with, and then that's why I was trying to move to, not to disrespect some of the
See,
points, but I know for a fact that we can talk real long on this, and it is late, and it's got to be real late where y'all at, because but
you on
anyway,
you on the East Coast
I'm on the
BMT?
west, yeah, BMT's over there.
Oh, okay. I thought he was on the west side. That what you?
No. So
Ah.
no. So let me see. Came to pass. So Isaac was old, right? So here it is.
Mm-hmm.
Isaac was
Yep.
old. His eyes were dim, so he could not see. Okay. He called Esau his eldest son. He said unto him, my son, and he said to him, behold, here I am. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, I know not the day of my death. Therefore take, I pray thee, thy weapons, thy quiver, the bow. Go out in the field. Take me some venison. Make me some savory meat, such as I love. Bring it to me, and that I may eat, that my soul may bless thee before I die. So that's why I asked earlier. Okay, the birthright was different from the blessing, because he already sold the birthright. That's done, right?
Yes.
You don't you don't think so? Was
I
that
said yes.
okay?
Yeah. He can't get it back. It's over.
Yeah, that's done.
Okay.
But this
Yeah.
here is he saying that, okay, I want to bless you. So if he hated that blessing, why would he even, if that blessing and the birthright was the same thing, you see what I'm saying? Wouldn't he just run away? Never try?
I mean, he already gave up the blessing. He gave up the blessing when he gave up the birthright, because the
So
birthright is a blessing.
so you saying they're the same thing?
Yeah, and he gave them both up. When he gave up the birthright, he had no regard for the blessing that was going to
Okay.
come from his earthly father. If you don't want the blessing from your heavenly father, okay, which would you rather have?
Oh no,
The
don't ask me.
blessing,
No, because don't ask me.
okay, it's
Just
not for you.
say
For
what.
anybody who ever hears this,
Yeah.
which would you rather have? The blessing from your father, earthly father, or do you want the blessing from your heavenly father?
Okay. Okay, but okay. So
Because the birthright, hold on, Mike. The birthright came from the heavenly father, because that's who decides who was going to be born first.
okay. Well, that's the same thing to you. You saying they're the same thing. Okay, and then
Yeah,
all right.
yeah, yeah. To me, yeah.
So that's your position on that. Now I can see that. All right. So basically, he said. So now Rebecca heard when Isaac spoke to Esau, his son,
She
and
was
Esau
sneaking around.
and
Go
Esau
ahead.
went to the field to hunt for venison. So Esau went to try to get that blessing. He tried and bring it. Rebekah spoke to Jacob her son, saying, behold, I heard thy father speak unto Esau thy brother, saying, bring me some venison and make me savory meat, that I may eat, before my death. So now, therefore, son, obey my voice, the voice of the women. Women shall rule over them. Obey, obey my voice according to that which I command thee. Go now to the flock and fetch me from thence 2 good kids of goats. I will make them savory meat for thy father, such as he loveth, and thou shalt bring it to thy father, that he may eat, and he may bless thee before his death.
Hmm.
So so at that point, what are y'all thinking? Is that
I believe she made some curry goat.
Okay,
I'm,
but
I'm
that was
tripping. I'm tripping.
but
That's a
that's
sidetrack.
I mean, but as far as the morality and all that kind of thing of that particular move.
I mean, going back to Romans, she was already told. She was already told what it was, that the elder would serve the younger, and she heard and believed that from the Lord. Well, when she was told that, what Isaac was trying to do was not the right move. Like BMT said earlier, we try and do our own thing. Hey, Sarah told Abraham, go on in there to Hagar, then we're gonna get us a son. That wasn't the move. That wasn't God's move. So that's why I said whether let me speak for me. Whether I understand it or not fully is immaterial. My goal is to believe it, regardless what I may think.
Okay, and I understand. I could actually understand that. But actually, how can you believe something that you don't understand at all? Now, I can understand
Uh,
if you say it like this. I don't know fully, so I believe in the Lord, and I trust in the Lord. But
Absolutely.
you can't. Can you believe something that you don't know about or understand? How can you?
I don't understand gravity. I believe I ain't just gonna float away. So yeah, you absolutely can. I don't understand how he
That
makes us not float off.
the gravity wasn't a good example because you do understand gravity.
How?
That,
I
that
can't
wasn't
tell you how gravity works.
you
We don't
understand it.
even know. I,
You
I
understand
understand. I understand what the effect is and what it's been
gravity. There you
labeled,
go.
but to tell
So,
you how it works, I don't understand that.
okay, well, but
I mean, look, man,
I'm just saying that probably I see what you're saying, but I don't think that one was a good example because everybody kind of understands if you throw something up, it's gonna come down. If you know what I'm saying, that's kind of
but how do we know? But how does that work?
was
I
that
don't understand how that works. Some people say it's because of the rotation of the Earth,
okay.
but then there are others who say that the Earth is still flat. So how do I don't understand that.
That part you don't understand. So you really can't believe that part. But the part of gravity that you do understand is if you throw something up, it's gonna fall
It's
down.
coming down.
You know
Yeah,
that.
and that's why I said humans gave it a name, but to say I understand how it works is different from understanding that it works.
Hmm. Okay.
What goes up definitely comes down, but
Okay.
I can't tell you what makes it come down. We call it gravity, but can I write that down on, well, because x plus y equals z, then gravity means we ain't getting off. I mean, I can't explain that,
Okay. Well,
but I definitely believe that it works because we ain't floating off. We don't
right.
have wings.
So basically, he's saying that she was doing the righteous thing in deceiving Isaac.
I mean, she knew what she was told.
I'm
She
just
did
saying
what she was told, that the elder would serve the younger. So hey, let me put this coat on you, take this food in there, and get that blessing from your dad. Even though that the blessing from Isaac, what is that worth? Really, what is that worth?
hold on. You saying that this all was unnecessary?
Absolutely not.
Okay,
Because if
so
it was unnecessary, it wouldn't have been in there.
okay, so yeah, exactly. So let's not say it was worth like it's not worth nothing. This is very important. If it's there.
No,
It's maintained.
okay.
It's for us to look at, and it obviously had an effect. So it was something. So but my
Isaac's blessing.
yeah, Isaac's blessing. Yeah,
Oh,
Isaac's
okay.
blessing. Because the thing is, you got to realize the first of all,
And that's why I put that
who was
question out
given
there.
authority? Who was given authority? Man.
Adam. Yeah, man.
And here's
Yep.
what that yeah, that's where Isaac
And
can come from.
and
So
off the rip we blew it.
that tradition. That's why all that. That's what God started. And so, yeah, Isaac's blessing meant something to that family, and it meant something to us. It means something to the world. So it's very important. And so I know what you might be saying, according to the Heavenly Father, but it's not really. Yeah, that meant something. But so the thing is though, okay, so he so this is how I'm understanding that, and I'm not trying to be facetious, but I want you to just comment on this. It seems to me that people are saying that God commanded Rebecca to deceive her husband. So is God in the business of deception?
He said he was in strong delusion. So, everything is in his wheelhouse to do,
Okay,
regardless what it is.
okay. So deception. So he have
Oh,
that
yeah.
it's okay for her to
He
deceive her
he
husband.
hey Mike, he hardened Pharaoh's heart. There was one point when Pharaoh was about to, well, maybe I should, but the Lord was like, tweak, and you know what? Nah, they ain't going nowhere. I ain't letting nobody go.
Right. Did he? Okay. So,
It,
but
it's in his wheelhouse to
that's
that
not.
his power be revealed.
Yeah, but
Go ahead.
that wasn't. I think that's different from deception. But anyway, okay. So Isaac and so Rebecca de- decided to, because God actually spoke to Isaac before. So I'm interested to, instead of just speaking to Isaac and saying, give it to Jacob.
Well, he knew Isaac was gonna pick Esau,
Oh,
so he
Isaac.
didn't.
No, he could have commanded Isaac because he had spoke to Isaac before. He could have.
Maybe he did. that
No,
we aren't privy to, and we
wait a
can
minute.
say
Wait a
that
minute.
was lost in the
Hold on,
translation
hold
or
on,
hidden
hold on.
intentionally.
You said maybe God told Isaac and they didn't record that in the Bible?
And like I said, maybe we can attribute that to being lost in translation or intentionally removed
See,
because there are some there are some things I don't understand, but
okay.
I don't. But the word says, "Lean not unto thine own understanding." So I can't lean onto what I think. I just have to put myself in a position where I just accept it regardless. If I don't accept it regardless, then where's my faith?
Well, the thing is, at the same time, you're supposed to get study for understanding.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
you are.
So it's not about, I mean, true enough, at the end of the day, like I say, even at the end of this day of this conversation, it's all going to be about our faith, right? So that's not the purpose of the conversation. But if you really are not trying, now you, like you said, you lean not towards your understanding, but that doesn't mean don't try to get the understanding, because the understanding, is going to help you, make sure that you know a little bit more, and instead of just kind of, just not really getting it, period. So I mean,
Well,
yeah, I mean, I understand, because you're supposed to get understanding. I know it says that too.
yeah,
So
and all that get understanding,
right,
and we get that from the word. When he said, lean not unto thy own understanding," he follows that with acknowledge him in all thy ways, and he will direct your path.
right,
Acknowledge him. Don't lean on what you think. Acknowledge him. He'll direct you.
right. Yeah. So my thing is that seems interesting to me. That's an interesting, because of what you brought out here. This one,
Well, Romans.
yeah. Shall we
Oh
say,
yeah,
is there
yeah.
unrighteous?
Because if I'm not mistaken, in the Old Testament, it doesn't say that he spoke to Rebecca. He reveals that to us in the New Testament, and that's why I said that they
So
have hidden things from us.
to believe, yeah, and like you said, But I mean, I'm resisting believing that God actually wanted deception or instructed deception. So that's the only thing that I'm
Mm,
resisting.
I
Deception,
mean, I can understand why you would say that.
yeah, because deception in that way, it seems that would be kind of, you know, not
Not
really
very God, not very heavenly like. But
right.
we talking about the same God who said he would send strong delusion. So I don't.
Delusion and
I
deception.
mean, I can't. I was about to say I don't put limits on God, but I can't.
No,
So it's
but
like fighting a
he,
losing battle here.
well, it's not fighting. It's trying to understand. See,
Yeah,
because
yeah. I mean, that's just a matter,
and see that's
a
the thing,
figure of speech. That's
right?
just a figure of speech.
So okay, so here we go. So I just want to say, so anyway, let's try to finish this off. Actually, I'm about to. We might have to do the part two to this because this is going a little long. But
Yeah, we ain't even get to genocide.
right, we didn't
Darn.
get to it. Cool. Jacob said
Good.
this was no, but this is a very vital to me. That's why I wanted to try to focus on these two because this here is foundational to what we see going on today with the genocides and all that stuff.
It
Yeah,
is,
so
it is, but we also have to realize that those who are perpetrating some of the evils we see, you use the word. I mean, they would say to their advantage. I mean, last week, Netanyahu was talking about we need to be like Amalek.
see,
Well, and and I think you play. I think you either it was on We Woke Now. Or I think you may have played it where they actually. I mean, they actually believe like you meant, like BMT had mentioned earlier, that they the chosen people. They actually believe that when the clip I saw, it's a regular old white guy saying that way. If y'all the chosen people, then y'all should be believing and obeying better than I do. But
well,
that's
see,
not what we
that,
see. Even though
but
he said we need to be like Amalek and go in and kill everything. And he
okay,
talking about the Palestinians. So evidently they not who they say they are.
well, the thing is though, Leroy, but if
So
you they actually if you saying that God is okaying like deception and then you know Jacob said unto his father, I am Esau thy firstborn, which is a flat out lie.
yep, sure is.
Flat out lie. I think this is the first flat out lie that we see in the scripture. I might be wrong.
Oh
I might be wrong.
no.
Before
Come on, man. Hold on.
this,
The father
this
of lies put out the lies first. Come
no
on,
who
man.
who
Serpent. The serpent. Oh, surely you won't die.
they die right away.
He it wasn't about whether you die right away or not. He
Listen
said when
what I'm
you
saying.
when he
Hold on.
said when you
Wait,
partake of
Leroy,
that tree,
you're talking
death
about
will come.
something that I'm not saying because you're going off on something that you're thinking I'm saying. Make sure you get exactly what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. A flat out lie that's easy to see completely that is not a guess here. Like
Yeah,
no, you saying now Eve, you're gonna say Eve and the serpent, and we had to prove that was a lie because they ate the apple and they didn't die like they thought he meant, and then
they
it took
didn't have to. They didn't have to prove it.
dude, it
They
took
didn't
a
have to prove it.
listen what I'm saying though. See, you're talking about a lie that's different than what I'm talking about. I'm saying when I use the words flat out, that's different versus a lie that we're going to see over a period of time that this is a lie. You see what I'm saying? This man says, I am Esau. That's
God,
a plain, complete, absolute, flat out. That is something like Obama is doing. That is something like that is, come on, man. You know what I'm talking about. This is a little bit different lie. This ain't this is not like a lie like, oh, God commanded you shall not surely die.
So
That's not
that's a
that's not flat out like
wait,
this.
wait, hold on. Yeah, because that what we talking about the author of the author of lies. He pretty good at deception. Let me say this really quick. I had a conversation on a radio show many years ago, and this guy called in afterwards and said that, well, we can just out deceive Satan. You gonna lie better than the father of lies and beat him at it? You don't beat, you don't conquer lies with more lies. You don't
Okay,
beat Satan
so
with lies.
but see now you starting to talk like me now. That's why I'm having a problem with Jacob. Okay, see, because of this here, because
Who is called to his purpose?
huh?
Who is called to God's purpose? Jacob and Esau. He said he hated Esau. Well, am I supposed to disregard that?
No, are you but let's look at it because, like you said earlier, there's different lost in translations. There's other stuff going on.
Hmm.
We can't disregard this. This is he's practicing the same technique as the father of lies. This is a flat out lie right here. And so that's why I'm like, I'm just looking. I'm just like, okay.
There go Jacob with, there go
Oh,
Mama's boy.
hey, like you said, I'm not trying to. Hey,
Oh,
I know that people want to come up with something, and we don't know, we don't understand all the details, but I am not going to disregard. I'm looking at something here, and I highlighted it. It's flat out. It's in every translation. He says to his biological father, and he know he's Jacob. I am Esau, thy firstborn.
yeah.
He didn't say, Daddy, Esau sold me his birthright with some porridge. He didn't say that. You know what I'm saying? He didn't tell the truth and say, hey, Daddy, yeah, this is Jacob. I had waited until Esau, but he promised me his birthright. So you have to bless it to me because he sold that to me in promise. He didn't say that. That's
Okay.
that's
No, he didn't. Okay.
all he did. Yeah, I'm supposed to believe that the righteous God told him to use lies. Yeah. Okay. That's just weird to me. But we're gonna move on from
Wait,
now.
wait. I mean, but hold on. You, what Jacob did? You tried to make it as if God made him do that. I mean, he already had the birthright.
Okay, so
If we look, how about this? If we gonna be practical, did he even need to go in there and get the blessing? He could have just walked off into wherever and said, "I don't need his blessing.
why
I
didn't
got
he
the birthright." And
why
Esau know it.
see, now that puts you in a little bit of a different situation because you gotta figure out why didn't he just forget Isaac? Why does the Bible tell us this happened? See, and that's all I'm saying is people. I think. I mean,
Go back to Romans 9:13.
we think we understand something right, and we missing something. That's all. I'm,
And that's why he said, "Lean not unto your own understanding, and all
well,
thy ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your path."
exactly.
Regardless whether you understand
But
it or not.
long as you acknowledge him, though, what does that mean? Is you look at
Acknowledge him, honor
what?
him. If I got any doubts about what I should do, I need to start with him before I go on my own path and try and figure this out by myself.
Exactly. But see, that's what I'm saying. Like, did this understanding come from him or did it come from somebody preaching about him? And what was their understanding? See, that's all I'm saying. Like, if you acknowledge what's right, we know God righteousness is the God of truth,
Hmm.
justice, righteousness. He's calling us to do things of brotherly love. What is it? The Beatitudes, Jesus. Those are that's acknowledging the God that I'm listening. But when I'm seeing certain practices that's not
But
vibe,
that's what Jacob did. That's not what God did. Jacob went in there and lied to get the birthright.
you said
That
acknowledge.
you know what that show you know what that shows. It shows the frailty of man. That he was willing to go in there and lie to his daddy.
Okay,
Well, okay, well, David was a man after God's own heart. Do we need to go into the things that David did that weren't righteous? But
okay.
that didn't stop him from being
No, they're
God said he was that David was a man after his own heart. Even though he did some he did some things that wasn't great at all.
right.
Bathsheba getting her pregnant.
I
She
mean, and
was
like I
somebody
said,
else's wife, sending her husband in the battle to die.
mhm,
That's all on David. But that still didn't stop him from being a man after God's own heart, according to God.
right, and
So
so we
so
can
we
we can.
gotta put the sin where it belongs. We can't put like it said, is God unrighteous? God forbid.
Oh, that's exactly
So
right.
he not.
Acknowledging God because that's the pattern. That's the pattern I'm looking at, and
What's
then
that?
that's why I'm like, you
How
know,
people fall?
okay. So anyway, that happened. But like I said, we got to probably do a part two of some of this because it's kind
I
of
mean,
late.
look, hey, look at Moses. But okay, I get it. I mean,
Mhm.
Moses did some things that wasn't great either. Look, Moses was an Israelite that grew up in Pharaoh's house
Wait a
and
minute.
look, he was in line to be the next Pharaoh.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So I mean, okay. So my yeah, like I said, this is just conversation, and I think this was extremely valuable because people are gonna take all kind of positions, but my thing
Yeah,
is we can have uh this conversation, and this is what we believe in, why we believe it, and humble, like me myself. I'm just like, okay, it's kind of, I'm not, like you said, so should I ignore this? No, I don't say ignore anything. but, there's see, this is if we do not try to actually deal with some of the issues, then that's why we have a lot of people out here saying contradiction, even though this just a misunderstanding. See, so that's the reason why we have to do the work to try to actually, if we're saying that people are supposed to do this or supposed to do that, and when folks have legitimate questions, and we don't really give them even close to something, what I mean, that they're like, okay, I've got this issue here, here's the issue, and I'm just trying to honestly, because like I said, regardless of the fact, I'm still going to follow the righteous and the good and this and that, and try to keep myself. But I have this question, period. And it's like, this is interesting here. And then, like you said, when I get, people get missiles and bombs, they're like, oh, we need to use this Bible. We need to be like Abimelech because
Amalek. Yeah,
whatever. Yeah, Amalek.
yeah,
We need to do this because of that. And then you can't
yeah.
read.
But that's him using that. He don't believe that.
Okay, that's what you believe.
He don't. He using that because it sound good and it fits his purpose.
But Leroy,
What's
Leroy,
up?
you realize that that group of people are literally raised on that religion, on
Yeah,
so they
and
believe what they're saying. He believed
they
that
can
stuff.
believe it all. He can
Okay,
believe it all they want to.
see, but the thing is, when you say that, when you do that, then
What?
that means that they can say, oh, well, they can say the same thing to you because they can just throw away. There's no reasoning if you just, well, he can believe it and he just wrong. Well,
No,
if
no, but see, you removing the
he's
context.
wrong,
He believes that because, or he's you. Brother, I'm not even gonna see believe. He is using that because it served. We speaking about Netanyahu.
right.
He's using that because it serves his purpose. He's not using it because he actually believes it, or they would leave.
Leave
That's what, they would leave where they are at. They would
why
like this one dude. Why? Because that ain't theirs. They showed up and claimed it, and it
they
was already people there living fine.
they believe that it's theirs.
They okay for the generations that have come after 1948. Hold
Hold on.
on, for the generations that came after 1948, you may have a good point. They may actually
No,
believe that.
no, the ones in 1948 believe that that's theirs. See, let me ask you this here,
Go
Leroy.
ahead. Go ahead.
Why do you believe that there are those people that believe that they are Jews? Okay. Do you know they have schools? They have little communities,
Hmm.
little bar mitzvahs. They speak Yiddish, but they also speak the Hebrew languages, some of it. Uh, Look at it.
Yeah,
You don't speak none of that though. But I'm saying,
man,
so,
because
hold
there's
on, hold
information out there that
on. That's a good reason. I know, and I agree with you. I agree with you.
I
That,
ain't even said it. How you know? Nah,
no,
go ahead. Go ahead.
because and I know why we don't speak those languages because we had a situation in our history. But I'm saying to you, those
No.
you're talking about millions of people. They
Hmm.
do believe that stuff. They actually believe that stuff. Now, if you get
You
to the Rockefellers, if you get to some of their super rich families, okay, you can convince me that they don't care nothing about that some of that stuff. But I've worked in some of their little what do you call those synagogues and uh,
uh,
their schools.
Revelation 2:9.
I know, but I mean, I've worked in around some of their community. They believe
Mm.
that stuff. I'm trying to tell you.
And that's why I said so for the
No, no,
ones who came after they may really actually believe that that's theirs, but it's not. Israel ain't even a place.
okay, okay.
What did okay? Did Moses lead them to Israel or the Promised Land?
Okay, Israel is a nation, though, right?
Yes, but it's not a place. Israel is the people. It's always been the people.
Okay,
It's,
all right.
or else when they came out of bondage, he would Moses would have said, "I'm leading y'all to Israel."
Okay,
No, those were the children of Israel.
okay. So, but the thing is, and that's our conversation for next time. Okay, the seed versus the children. We
Ooh,
want to talk
that's gonna
about
be a
that.
good one.
Yeah, we
That's
want to
gonna
talk
be
about
hot.
that. But that's going to be the part two. So I'll put that
That's
up,
that
and
is
we'll
gonna
try to
be
do that a
hot.
little bit later this week. And yeah, we're gonna get into it, guys. Y'all look into all these, like you said, this also give you time to, get all your spots and scriptures. I'll try to get a few things just, to make it interesting. We don't want to overload everybody with all these different things because we got to try to make this stuff bite-sized and we want to try to keep it concise to a certain point because we don't, how I used to hate talking to people when they talk about certain religion and they'd be like, oh, Revelation 2:9. Oh, Ecclesiastes is this and this and that. I'd be like, bro, I don't know nothing. It's like you're trying to impress me with places that you know this and know that. I don't.
No, it ain't about impressing.
No, not
I
you.
mean, not for me. Yeah,
But I feel like that. Like that's almost like a doctor of history or a doctor of something. He's using all these extra words that the average person don't know,
yeah,
and he
yeah,
knows they don't know that, and it just makes him look like he's smarter. And he might be smart, but it's like you just lost me. Okay, so
yeah. But that's someone who's intentionally doing that though.
well,
You,
no. I'm talking about even some people. I think some people. I don't think some. I don't think At first, I used to think somebody intentionally doing that, but I actually believe that some people they because they study so much, it just comes out. They just rattle it. They just rattle it. They're just talking. They're just talking, and they sometimes they don't realize how long it took them to actually read all that and learn it and get it. And they can
but do
talk
you?
about remember this, and go, okay, you can go all the way over here, and then this place, and then that place. It's like,
But shouldn't you be able to break it down? I'm talking about it's something
well,
that you learn. If we're talking about like a
now,
expertise,
of course they can break it down. It's nothing wrong with that. That's what I'm saying.
okay. And if they choosing not to, that's got to mean it's intentional.
Well, what I'm saying is they. I'm not going to put that on everybody that does that.
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
saying how it made me feel. That's all. I'm not gonna. I
Okay.
don't know the intentions of everybody who do that. See, I try not to throw everybody away like that just because I felt a certain way about that. I'm just saying that it's just like a person who's a more of a proficient in a certain subject because they have studied that subject. It is very easy for them to go here and go there within the realms of that subject. But if we started off at a certain place, like the lay person, that you could teach them if you kind of kept it like we're gonna deal with addition and subtraction today. You know what I'm saying?
instead of
And
and
then, oh,
instead
y'all
of
did that.
jumping to multiplication on the
Now we're gonna
first
go to
thing.
multiplication and division. Oh, that's a little
Yeah.
hard. Okay, let's work at it a little bit. Okay, now you got it. So now let's go to, that's how, the lay person is going, because a person who's a mathematician can go through the Fibonacci equation. You can go to, you know, all these different, motor controls, and they can go through all the stuff, molar measurements and all these certain stuff. And people are just like, what? Excuse me? Because it's easy for them.
Yeah.
It's just easy for them. And I don't necessarily think that they're necessarily trying to be everyone that does that is trying to intimidate or something, but it just becomes it loses people. I'll say it that way. So that's all the reason why I want to kind of, you know, break some of this down, or at least try to get a good conversation on some of this. But let's get out of here, guys. If
Hey,
y'all end up listening to this whole thing, I know we went long. We'll try to do it again. I'll try to go. I think I got a day off or something like that. We'll try to make it happen, probably on a holiday or something, or less.
yeah, come on back for the seed and the children.
Yeah, yeah. All
That's
right, man.
gonna be fire. And this was fire.
Oh yeah, yeah. We tried to make it happen, but we went 3 hours. That's way too long. And people see a 3 hour and they just click. Nope, I ain't listening to that.
That's because they don't want that meat. Some people clicking on it, Mike. Don't
Maybe.
it's people who appreciate the long form.
Yeah.
Because I be looking for the long form.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Peace
So
out. And we out. Go ahead.
much love.